Well, welcome back everyone to Tollcross International Swim Centre in the East End of Glasgow. We are here for the final session of the Scottish National Open Swimming Championships. We've had 3 days of great competition, looking for a great session tonight just to round things off for an excellent championships we've had here. My name's Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the action tonight on the live stream, and next to me for the first time on the live stream, Ollie Summers, Performance Programme Manager for Scottish Swimming. Welcome, Ollie.
Thanks, Paul. Glad to be here with you today. Yeah, first time on the live stream, so looking forward to see the swim meet from a different perspective.
Yeah, and you were telling me earlier, you're around about a year into your post with Scottish Swimming.
Yep, effectively my first day was the British Trials down in Sheffield at the start of April 2022, so that was a good day to start on. So yeah, just over a year now. Found my feet now, which is nice, but yeah, looking forward to the last day here at the Scottish National Open.
Yeah, well, it's been a good couple of days so far. We've seen some of the top performers, some of the people that are going off to Japan for the World Championships very soon. I don't think that any of the Japan team are competing tonight. We've seen them throughout the weekend though, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't think, off the top of my head, I don't think they are. A lot of them have taken the decision to take Sunday off to recover. They've had a fairly busy few weeks with travel, obviously, to Rome. And then their rest days really haven't been full rest days because they've been travelling. So I think it's a sensible decision from them to take the day off and go back into training next week before they fly out, I believe, next Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to say, it can't be too far away, but the championship's only about, what, 3 weeks away or something like that, yeah?
Yeah, pretty soon. So they'll have a prep camp in Rheims before that. Not Rheims, sorry, they're going over obviously to Japan. They've just been in a prep camp at Selicolli in Rheims, but they'll be flying over and acclimatising in Japan at a prep camp there before the competition starts.
And here's what we have in store tonight. We wish all those swimmers well on that World Championship journey to Japan. Here's what we have tonight: 4x50 metres freestyle relay. We'll start us off tonight, always exciting, and the mixed relays add a different dimension, don't they?
I absolutely love the mixed relays. I think, in fact, my partner, she's not too into swimming, but she was fascinated when the mixed medley relay came into the Olympic programme, and I think that was her favourite event of Tokyo. So I think it does bring a different dimension and makes it more exciting, I think.
Yeah, we've certainly seen some exciting relays over the last couple of days. We start with a relay tonight just to get us all warmed up. Up the distance for the 400 freestyles. So Michaela Glenister goes in again. She'll be the favourite for the women's 400 freestyle. A couple of good swims in the distance events. Michaela, already this week.
Yeah, no, she's been impressive this week, I think. And last week, actually, in Rome, she started to really push on and get back to some of her best times. So it's been nice to see. I particularly enjoyed the 200 free last night. Her last lap there was really impressive.
Yeah, very good finish. Lucy Hope, of course, great in that 200 free yesterday. She's not here in the 400. So in the men's event, Luke Hornsey was the fastest qualifier. What a 1500 that he had yesterday. Incredible finish.
That was incredible. I think that was the muhighlight of actually my weekend so far. That last 50 on a 27 point was quite impressive in that battle with Jack Munsey.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. 100 butterfly for women and men will follow on. Kara Slauson from Edinburgh University looking to add another title for her. Ed Mildred and Tom Carswell. The two non-Scots will go in the centre lanes for the men's 100 butterfly. Then on to the sprint, Ollie. That's always exciting. 50 metres breaststroke for women and for men, and the 50 metres freestyle as well, on the back of each other. So we'll have a few swimmers who are kind of doubling up in the finals of both the 50 breaststroke and the 50 freestyles as well.
Yeah, no, that'd be really interesting to see how that they can back that up. And what strategies they use between the two races to try and put themselves in the best position to race well in both.
Yeah, and they might get a little bit of a breather because we've got some medal presentations to come in between, so they're going to have a little bit longer than they did in the heats this morning because they seem to be straight from one heat into the next heat on that one. At the end of the session, we have the 200 metres backstroke event, so good heat swims there from the two Edinburgh University swimmers in the women's event, Ella Shield and Olivia Butler. They should be the two favourites for that one. Zach Speakman was the fastest qualifier for the men's, and Zach Speakman was a member of that Stirling Uni relay team last night that set the championship record, the club record I should say, for that relay. The Stirling, an incredibly strong team, that Stirling team.
Yeah, they've got a lot of depth there in that programme with some great athletes and some great coaches leading those programmes.
And 1500 freestyle, always an interesting one. And it's Fiona Byrne, City of Liverpool. Don't know much about Fiona Byrne. I'm not sure if you do, Ollie.
No, nothing about Fiona really. So that'll be interesting to see how she swims, and if we can have a battle like we did last night in the men's 1500. I'm all for watching that. Yeah,
absolutely. Alice Forrest from Derwent side is another one. It's the fastest heat, of course, so we don't have any idea of how the swimmers have competed in the heat, so no qualification for the 1500. It's the fastest heat. And 4x50 medley relay is a great way to finish the championships. That will round us off for tonight. So here's the first of the relays for tonight. Say University of Aberdeen performance looked really good in qualification. We've got a few junior teams in this one. South Ayrshire, one of the junior teams, and Aberdeen Dolphin, another one of these junior teams, led off by Dean Fern, one of the promising juniors in Scotland.
Absolutely, Dean. Obviously this summer has quite a few exciting trips planned for him with the European Youth Olympic Festival and then the Commonwealth Youth Games as well. So two new exposures for him, and I'm looking forward to see how he performs there. But also in this race tonight.
Yeah, well, he's going to lead them off on this freestyle relay. University of Aberdeen performance in 1 and Dumfries in 0. Also junior team, so the title, the medals up for grabs in this one, and the Scottish junior title as well. So this is a mixed relay, of course. Interesting that all the teams have started with male swimmers. And looking at the changeovers there, some female swimmers going on the second leg, some male. It's probably about quite evenly split on that second leg, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fairly evenly split. Obviously, trying to get out fast and ahead of the wave is obviously quite a good strategy. But yeah, on that second leg, it looks fairly evenly mixed.
Well, here we go. Wonder who this one is going to go to. The fastest from the heats, University of Aberdeen performance. They're led off by Lewis Birrell in lane number 4. So there are the big guys in the centre of the pool. That's a good start there. Maybe lane number 6 going well, and that is Dean Fern, I think. Might just give them lead, don't know. In fact, it is lane number 3, Aberdeen Dolphin in the lead, and Findlay Club hands over to Tom Robertson. And the two male swimmers for Aberdeen Dolphin and University of Aberdeen Performance are leading them through, as you might have expected. I think it's all females on this third leg, Ollie.
Yes, yeah, no, definitely females jumping in now, so we'll have another mix on the last lap, which will be quite exciting to see.
Yeah, and University of Aberdeen Performance and Aberdeen Dolphin, they have the edge now, 0.4 of a second separating them. Stirling Swim in third position, but they're all going to be chasing these top two teams who have some male swimmers on the final leg here. Swimmer in lane 5, the Limerick swimmer. They are just slightly off the pace here. And also in lane number 2, Ren 96. So it's going to be very, very tight with the female swimmers going in on the last leg, and a couple of the male swimmers now will chase them down, but it's a long way to come back. University of Aberdeen Performance, Mary Mischenko on this final leg. I'm not sure anyone's going to catch Mary Mischenko. Limerick coming through to challenge for second place, but it is going to be Mary Mischenko bring Aberdeen Performance through into first position in 1:40.75. What a battle for second, and it is the National Centre from Limerick who will get a medal. And in third position, it looks like Stirling Swim will just take that one by 0.02 of a second. And there is the confirmed result. University of Aberdeen Performance against the National Centre from Limerick, and Susie McNair bringing Stirling Swim home into third position. And just trying to check the junior swimmers. It might be Aberdeen Dolphin who have claimed that junior title, I think. It's difficult to tell,
yeah,
Wally.
I'm scanning my
We're both
here.
scanning it. We're scanning the scoreboard. We're scanning the program. It is a great spectacle, but it's a nightmare for us to follow. Things change about, and that's only the freestyle. We've got the medley to contend with later on.
Yeah, I think you might be right with the Aberdeen Dolphins there.
They were I think, in 5th or 6th position.
5th place, I think.
5th place for Aberdeen Dolphin.
With our junior champions.
So Aberdeen Dolphin will claim the junior championships, we think. Mary Mischenko brings Aberdeen performance home. It's a convincing win in the end.
Yeah, really strong performance there by University of Aberdeen. And the National Centre Limerick obviously surging back on that last lap with a male swimmer, so that was interesting to see. I guess the difference you have with the 4x50, you don't get as much time to calculate the time differences as you do in the 4x100 mixed. So that was really interesting.
It's difficult for us to pick that out. I hope we did a decent enough job in commentary. But certainly great performance by the University of Aberdeen performance squad. We have our first para final of the night. 4 swimmers taking the start for this one. And there we have them. Emma Imrie enjoying her time here in Tollcross. Full line-up: Tony Shaw, Katie Bake and Mirren Binney. And of course the para squad, para's international classifications, all these swimmers. Mirren Binney in the S6 class, Tony Shaw in S9, and Katie Bake and Emma Imrie in the S10 classification. So as with all the para races, S1 to S10 for those with physical impairments, S1 being the most impaired and S10 being the least impaired. So the times from the swimmers, the times that they register, will be compared against the world record standard for their classification, with that world record equivalent to 1,000 points. So it's a way of letting a number of different classes compete against each other, isn't it, Ollie?
Yeah, no, it's sometimes hard to work out who's going to be the winner in the race, but obviously then when we calculate the points after, that reveals who's won the race and is closest to that record. One thing I've learnt this week actually is I think the viewers on the live stream will see some of the numbers, not the classifications as you've described, but also the
the exemption codes.
The exemption codes, yeah. I wasn't aware of that, but Sam Downey explained that a little bit to me earlier in the week, so that was interesting for me to learn. Obviously used by the officials to work out.
That's right, yeah. Tony Shaw's a good example of that. She's a hand amputee, genital hand amputee, so she'll have exemption. So in breaststroke butterfly, for example, you have to touch with 2 hands, but if you don't have 2 hands, then that's an exemption for the swimmer there, Tony Shaw. Not sure what the numbers are exactly. We should have had a list with us. But Tony Shaw's exemptions 1, 3, and 5. So one of them will be a one of them will be a one-handed touch.
I've only learned the numbers this weekend. I don't know actually what each of them mean. But yeah, you're right. But I've not seen that before at a swim meet, the exemption codes being on the scoreboard, so that's been interesting for me.
Yeah, it's normally they are used by the officials. The officials always have the exemption codes. We're just getting in our ears an explanation of the classification. I hope you got that, Ollie.
I got some of it, yeah.
But Tony Shaw has been one of the great performers. I mean, your role covers the para swimmers as well.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting to see Tony here, how she's shaping up ahead of the Worlds later in Manchester this summer. I think her year's been slightly disrupted in terms of training, but it's good to see her competing again. Obviously, she's been competing a few times this weekend, so I'm not expecting anything groundbreaking today. with the Worlds later in the year and that disrupted training, but it's just good to see her race.
Yeah, great to see her back in the water again. I was speaking to her yesterday, and yeah, she just seemed keen to get back in, and it's good to see that. She's going to be stretching away from the others in this field. She is the class of the field. I expect her to have the highest number of points when they get to the points totals a little bit later on at the finish of the race. And Tony Shaw, great record she's got, and she is actually the reigning world champion in this one, the 400 freestyle. What a tough race that she had at the World Championships last year to just take that 400 freestyle title. And this is the event as well that she won a Paralympic medal in, bronze medal in Tokyo in 2021. So Tony Shaw, one of the world's top performers here in the 400. But as we all know, Ollie, if you've been out the water for an extended period of time, these distance events are the ones that are going to be hit pretty hard, aren't they?
Yeah, you can really suffer on especially the last component of the race if you've not done the training that you're used to. We'll just see what Tony's doing here. She seems to be holding 37, so she's been consistent the last few laps, which is good. But definitely, you suffer when you've not done the training in these sort of events.
Oh, she's coming down to the 300 mark. Tony Shaw going over there in 3:41, so was kind of maintaining that 38.8 there in that previous 50 there.
Yeah, just a slight drop off there. It'd be good if she can maintain that or pick it up a bit for the last 100.
Following Tony, we see the other swimmers going in the opposite direction. Katie Paik lying in second place now, Emma Imrie in third, and Miriam Binney, the lowest numerical classification, she's in fourth position. We'll come back to them. And we have the result for Tony Shaw. It's got 37.65 for Tony. 4:19.64 at that 350 mark.
Yeah, so that's good. She's picked it up again and hopefully can down this last lap and should be comfortably under 5 minutes. A 5:03 in the heat, so that's an improvement on what she did this morning. Way off what she's done before, obviously, and the records that she holds, but it'd be good to see that progression from heats to finals.
Yeah, and here comes Tony Shaw, one of the world's best, back in the water again, reaching for that one with her good arm. It's good skills there from Tony Shaw at the end. 4:57.12 for her. That'll be a big points total. So great to see her back in the water again, Tony Shaw. Katie Paik has got the edge over Emma Imrie. They had a great battle yesterday in the 100 backstroke. Katie Paik and Emma Imrie, they are in the same classification. Katie Paik coming into the final stages now. Don't think Emma Imrie is going to catch her up. There's a big gap there between the two. Emma Imrie just getting the better of Katie Paik just on the touch yesterday in the backstroke. But Katie is going to get the better of Emma this time. They are in the same classification, so Katie will have a higher points total. She's not going to challenge the points of Tony Shaw, but she is in that time of 5:46.89, just slightly shy of what she went in the heats. Emma Imrie with the blue cap is going to be finishing now in 5:59.01. That's a good time for Emma Imrie, isn't it?
Yeah, dipping below the 6 minute mark there, improved on her heat swim, so she looks really happy over in that lane at the end.
And he's, Tony Shaw's obviously in the national squad, but Emma Imrie, Katie Paik, Miriam Binney, they're kind of juniors in the Scottish squads as well.
Yeah, Tony's definitely the established one of the field in our senior team, and then you've got the other three kind of at a lower level in the pathway, I guess, trying to work their way up. So it's exciting to see how they progress over the next few years.
Yeah, and here is Miriam Binney. Entry time from this morning, 7:43, but she did an 8:14 in the heats. So it'll be good to see if she can get somewhere near that 8 minute mark. Let's have a look. She goes over in 101.44. So if she does that again, Ollie, she's going to be just over that 8-minute mark again. But
Yeah,
faster than this morning, though.
faster than this morning, definitely, if she can maintain that pace. It's interesting when you get to this race, because obviously the time you'd swim, when you see at the Olympics, is obviously almost half of what Merrin's having to do. So she's almost having to do an 800 free equivalent in terms of the pacing strategy and the energy
in terms
expenditure.
of the time she spent in the water.
Yeah. So she's doing really well here if she can maintain that pace on that second to last lap and finish around that 8-minute mark.
Let's see if she can dip under that 8-minute mark. Come on, Merrin. She's had a busy programme here over the last few days. She's done a number of events. I think she's got at least one more event later on. Let's see if she can dip under there.
Just
look
under.
at that. 7:59.64. Well done, Merrin. There is the finishing order. Good to see 3 swimmers just dip under those little barriers there. 5 minutes. Tony Shaw was inside, Emma Imrie inside the 6-minute mark, and Merrin Binney inside the 8-minute mark. So nice to see that in that 400 freestyle. We'll wait for the points, but I think for my money, Tony Shaw's going to take that ahead of Katie Paik and Emma Imrie, but I'm never sure until we get the points calculated.
Yeah, I imagine Tony will take that as an S9 swimmer with Katie and Emma S10. So you'd imagine Tony winning the field. She should be well on her way to the win there.
So great to see Tony Shaw back in again and performing there, improving her time from heats to finals. As we go on to the next 400 freestyle, and that is the B final. So we've got a couple of empty lanes here in this B final. But we do have at the top Cara Gordon from Stirling Swim. Emily Maxwell goes for Derwent side. Ella Smith from Borough Stockton in 2. Evie Mackey from South Lanarkshire in 3. Susie McNair, Stirling Swim in 4. Jessica Thomas, Borough Stockton in 5. Mary Mischenko, University of Aberdeen Performance in 6. And Paige van der Westhuizen going in lane number 7 from Stirling University. All these kind of times 4:35 through to 4:45 in terms of the times. Any of these swimmers come under your remit, Ollie?
Yeah, so Susie McNair's in our national junior team. So she's a swimmer I'm fairly well aware of, and she's been to quite a few of our training camps this year, and was out in Geneva with us as well in January. So excited to see how Susie swims today.
She's had a great week, Susie McNair, hasn't she? Last night, I think, in the 200 freestyle, really finishing strongly in that B final. She was almost out of it. We didn't really count her in when we looked at the finishing order in that 200 freestyle, and she just sneaked in at the end. Great finish. Yeah,
no, she's a very good distance swimmer, so she's got that ability to hold on and come back on other swimmers. So yeah, it's interesting to see her out first here, so good things should come from that.
And Susie McNair with that entry time of 4:35, so we'll see if she can improve on that. She's entry time for this event 4:27, so she's looking forward to try and get somewhere under the 4:30 mark, you would imagine.
Yeah, should be I think quite pleased with that. I don't believe Susie will be targeting this meet as her sort of benchmark meet for the season with the British Summer Meet coming up, but to do a performance close to her best would be positive here.
So she's going over at halfway point, Susie McNair in 2:14.54. Just looking at the splits there, all pretty close together, the splits of the chasing pack there, all in the kind of 35.5 kind of range. And that's a good indicator of if swimmers are closing or pulling away from the others alongside them. I think we've got a race on here, Ollie. Evie Mackey going really well in lane 3.
Yeah, no, trying to maintain the distance to Susie there and stay with her. She doesn't want to get too far away. It's always hard to pull pull it back in the final stages if you let the swimmer next to you get too far away, but she seems to be doing a good job there.
Ella Smith in third position, I should say. The Borough of Stockton swimmer, one of the visitors to these championships for the north of England. So Borough of Stockton, Derwentside as well represented in this B final. But in the pole position at the minute, going to the 300 mark, Susie McNair. Evie Mackey from South Lanarkshire still in second position. Ella Smith in third from Borough of Stockton. Into the 300 now. Susie McNair, 35.48. She's just about extended that lead, but not by much. But she's got Evie Mackey right on her heels there, right on her feet. But Susie McNair is going to be the favourite for this one.
I think so at this stage. Like, lots of things can change, and we can't know how the swimmers are feeling in the water. But I think right now Susie's in a good place. I think it'll be a tight to go under 4:30 as we were discussing earlier, but I'm hoping she can improve on her heat swim.
Well, Evie Mackey's got a little bit of a spurt on here. We'll look at the splits there. Only 0.2 of a second, but Susie McNair going to the legs there. She comes off that final turn. I think she's got enough to hold off the challenge of Evie Mackey here as she comes down with 25 metres to go. Mackey now trying to hold off the charge of Ella Smith, one lane up. But it is going to be Susie McNair who's going to take this one. Let's see what kind of time she is going to get. She's going to be in the low 4:30s, I think. A nice last 50 there for Susie McNair, and she will take it in 4:32.20. Evie Mackey just holds off the advances from Ella Smith at 4:34.45. Will be an improvement on the heat times for all three of the first swimmers.
Yeah, we like to see that progression from the heats to the finals, and the ability to step up beyond what you did earlier in the day. So that's nice to see from the three of them. And a good little battle there for second and third.
Yeah, Susie McNair really dominant, and she's had a great week. She might be in later on as well. Susie McNair's had a very busy programme. I'm not sure if we'll see her later, but I wouldn't be surprised the amount of races that we've seen her.
As a talented medley swimmer, you know, Susie runs the risk of doing everything in the programme. So, yeah, I think the 400 IM is one of her top events. So you'd expect to see her multiple times over a weekend, competing in a range of different strokes.
And at 16 years of age, she can get away with that, I think.
Yes, yeah, definitely at the younger ages, it's something that's easier to do. So it's good to see.
So, where's your money on this, son? This A final, the 400 freestyle. Hard to look past Michaela Glenister, but Mari Craig is going to be there or thereabouts as well. Centre lanes. It's one of the only junior swimmer in this one is Phoebe Arbuckle, the only Scottish junior. So she will take the Scottish junior title in this one by virtue of making it to the A final.
Yeah, Phoebe, another of our national junior team members, so has been part of that experience over the last year with Susie, and has really impressed in some of the distance events.
So Glenister goes in the centre lane, Mari Craig in lane number 3, Emma Price in lane number 5. These were the three swimmers that were under the 4:30 mark. Michaela Glenister well under that 4:30 in qualification. She will be the favourite. Expect her maybe to even increase that or reduce that time. 4:24.02 in qualification. Capable of going under the 4:20 mark.
More than capable, yeah. I'd expect with a 2:03 in the 200 yesterday, she should be aiming for sub 4:20, and I think that's something that we should expect.
Michaela Glenister, of course, I think I remember her initially as almost like an open water swimmer initially, but I'm not sure if she's moved into the pool in recent years, certainly, but performing really well in distance swimming. Yeah,
distance swimming, and I know she's got a medley pedigree in the past as well, which was nice to see her compete recently in Rome and here as well in those events and do pretty well.
Well, Michaela Glenister leads them through 101.19. Rebecca Reid right down here in lane number 9 is in second place. Mari Craig going well in the lane number 3, one lane up from the leader, Michaela Glenister. Rebecca Reid, right in there in the mix in lane number 9. I suppose when you saw the heats, and we're obviously ranked on the times that they did in the heats this morning, but quite comfortable qualification for some of these swimmers, so maybe difficult to tell if they were holding anything back in those heats.
Yeah, it's definitely hard sometimes when you have people that can easily qualify for some of these finals to know exactly how much more they have to give, especially across the field. You might have some that had to go full to get into this final and perform well in the heat for themselves, whereas others, yeah, they've got ample energy left to spare for tonight.
Yeah, Glenister going down to the halfway point. She's dominating this one. 2:06.49. Second place now. Mary Craig has moved in. Just almost a very similar split there. Elsa McDonald, very similar split as well. So the top 3 swimmers just maybe moving away from the others.
Yeah, Michaela's definitely put herself in a good position here to go below that 4:20 that we were discussing. So if she can maintain her pace, she's in a good position.
Of course, swimmer based in Stirling University. Quite a successful programme at Stirling University.
Yeah, they've got some great swimmers there at the moment. It's exciting to see how a lot of them will perform later in this season when they're fully rested and tapered. Most of them using this as kind of a stepping stone meet towards some of those targets they've got later in the year. But they've got a great setup there with Stephen Tigg and Bradley Hay leading the top programme, and then Josh Williamson and Martin Walton leading the HP2, so the swimmers just below that. But the depth they've got is quite impressive.
Yeah. Well, we saw in the relay teams last night, I think it was almost a clean sweep of the Stirling relay teams last night, and I think on day 1 it probably was a clean sweep actually, so such strength and depth across all the disciplines in Stirling. Michaela Glenister going really well here at the front. Don't think anybody's going to challenge her now. And one lane up from her, Mary Craig is maybe just closing very slightly, but she's not going to challenge the top spot for Michaela Glenister. 3:45, Ollie. It's looking good.
Yeah, looking good for going under that 4:20. I don't know what she'd be hoping for. I think definitely below 4:20 ahead of this. So it'll be interesting to see how she makes of it when she touches the wall and sees what the time is.
Well, she's going to win this title. She's going to be the Open champion. She's a non-Scot despite being based in Stirling. So the Scottish champion should be Mary Craig in lane number 3. But here we go. Michaela Glenister will win this one in 4:19.06. She takes it ahead of Mary Craig in 4:22. The bronze medal will go to Nicole Ricci. And Phoebe Arbuckle going well, finishing in 4th place. Phoebe Arbuckle, the youngster, the junior swimmer.
Yeah, nice performance there from Phoebe. I can't remember off the top of my head what her personal best is, but to get below that 4:30 mark is quite good.
Yeah, just looking at her entry time for Phoebe Arbuckle. Entry time prior to the heats this morning, 4:28.30, so she's not far away from that at all.
Yeah, she's quite close, which I think she'll be quite pleased with quite a few weeks left before British Summer Meet, where she'd probably be looking to push on there.
And that's, of course, a lot of the target meet, the British Summer Meet, because it's all age groups at the British Summer Meet, isn't it? So age group swimmers
up until you're over 18, and then it gets a lot harder to qualify because you've got a bigger field to compete when you're 18 and over. So yeah, but the age group swimmers, they've got their individual age categories where they're racing the best in the country.
But it's a huge meet, that British Summer Meet. I was there last year doing some commentary for it. 25 sessions it was
25.
over the I think it was 6 or 7 days. They had four sessions a day sometimes.
Yeah, it's a long one. Commentating tough. On all sessions?
Yeah, commentating on all sessions, yep.
Yeah, you get a harder job than the swimmers, I think.
I know, exactly. So 400 freestyle for para swimmers. Again in the para events. This is the specific para final. But we do have a para swimmer in the B final, who's made the B final, Ollie Carter. So the time and the points generated by Ollie's swim, which is in the next race, will count towards the para medals. So a separate set of medals for the para swimmers. I was just saying to one of our colleagues, Robert, this afternoon on the live stream, that this Scottish Championship's probably one of the pioneering meets in terms of para swimming, because it's one of the first meets that they had specific para events at back in the day.
Yeah, no, that's
even when I was swimming. Oh yeah, don't laugh too hard though.
I apologise for that. Yeah.
It was, yeah, back in I think the early 2000s, maybe even before that, the Scottish Championships had these para events. So
yeah, no, fantastic to see it.
Yeah.
I always enjoy watching Sam Downey swim. He's a great swimmer. I don't know too much about Bjorn, but I'm very aware of Sam, obviously one of the swimmers heading to the World Championships later this summer.
Yeah, I mean, he's really come on in the last couple of years. Some great performances took him into World Championship team, of course. He made his debut in Madeira last year at the World Championships, and of course Commonwealth Games. Must have been a great experience for him to be in that Commonwealth Games team.
Yeah, he absolutely loved it. You could tell on his face through most of the days that he was soaking it all in, and he performed really well there. He's done a really good job the last year or two working on his stroke length and rate. He used to rate quite high, especially in this 400 freestyle, but he's managed to lengthen it, and it's been really good to see that progression, working with his coaches Jamie Ward and Danny Kirkham.
Yeah, I mean, looks really good technique, and of course it's a lower limb disability, both his legs affected, so he doesn't get too much from his legs all the way through, doesn't get much off the turn from his legs, so it's all kind of upper body for Sam Downey. He's in the S8 classification. Bjorn Ian, one of the younger swimmers as well, a couple of years younger than Sam Downey. He's an emerging swimmer. He swims in the S10 classification, Bjorn Ian. And Sam Downey, though, going over in 2:24.81. Had a good swim this afternoon, Sam Downey. Set a British record in the 200 backstroke. And I think, Ollie, what do you think his target events would be? I mean, 100 backstroke's always been the one, I think, but he's been successful in this one as well,
yeah,
the 400 freestyle.
I don't think he should close his options to either of them at the moment. His 100 back and 400 free are both events which he can do well in as he keeps progressing. So this is certainly one of his main events. Obviously last year at the Commonwealths, the 100 back was in the programme. He didn't get the opportunity to race the 400, but definitely both of them.
Yeah, Bjorn is just about 10 seconds behind, almost just about the camera. Camera just getting Bjorn in shot there as Sam Downey goes down towards the 300 mark.
Yeah, they were separated by about 12 seconds in the heat, so it'll be interesting to see whether that's maintained or whether Sam can increase that advantage. So
3:40. It's gone over in around about 38 seconds. With 100 to go. And
yeah.
Of course, we know Sam Downey going into the World Championships just in a month's time. And what kind of stage of preparation is he going to be at the minute?
Yeah, so with a month, it all depends on the swimmer and the programme that they're in. They'll all have different approaches depending on what they're racing, what sort of distance, and also just the type of training approach that their coach uses. But you'd think he's still working hard in training, and he's probably just starting to think about the taper phase and starting to rest up and sharpen himself up. So I don't expect him to be firing on all cylinders right now.
Well, his entry time, he went 4:59 this morning. He has been in the low 4:40s, and he's going to be somewhere in between those two, I think. Maybe in the low 4:50s. He can just get into this final few strokes. Sam Downey will come through. and close that one out in 4:54.01. Next 36-second finish there for Sam Downey. Bjorn Iron will be a little bit behind Sam. See if he can get inside that 5:11 that he went this morning. Good strong finish from Bjorn. Oh, 5:12.01. Well, consistency. Just half a second difference between the swims there for Bjorn Iron between heats and final. But Sam Downey will take that one. Again, Ollie, I don't think he's going to challenge in terms of points the time from Ollie Carter, but we'll see how Ollie goes in this B final.
Yeah, it'll be good to see Ollie in this race. Previously focused on the 400 freestyle, but I believe it's not in the Paralympic program anymore, so he switched his focus to the 100 free this season. But he obviously still enjoys racing the 400 for preparation for that 100 freestyle.
Yeah, Ollie Carter has improved his 400 freestyle immensely over the past couple of years. He's a Scottish record holder at 4:19.21, but again, someone on his way to the World Championships, so not really expecting fireworks just at this minute. Ollie Carter goes in lane 7. The full lineup for this B final: Jacob Wood from Elgin at the top in lane 0. Owen Williamson, East Lothian in 1. Junior swimmer Ewan Weir from Dundee City Aquatic in 2. Orlando Deering and Daniel Moises from City of Peterborough in lanes 3 and 4. Oscar Churnside from Geary, another Scottish junior swimmer, goes in 5. Jack Swindale from City of Peterborough in 6. Ollie Carter, as we said, will go in 7. Connor Aspinall from East Lothian in 8. And James Boddy from Geary will go in lane number 9. So 4 Scottish juniors in this one. That's Ewan Weir in 2, Oscar Churnside in 5, Connor Aspinall in 8, and James Boddy in lane number 9. No junior swimmers in the A final, so this will be the fight for the junior title. So, good start from the juniors here on the near side. Look at this, Connor Aspinall and James Boddy. 14-year-old Connor Aspinall, Ollie.
Yeah, they're really flying out together, aren't they? It'll be interesting to see whether they can hold that pace and keep ahead of the field. Everyone will have slightly different strategies and strengths to play to on an event this long, so we'll see how it plays out.
Well, they're almost eyeball to eyeball there, both breathing towards each other, going up towards that scoreboard end. And Connor Aspinall just breathing across to his other side just as he went into the turn there. You'll be able to see that there's no one in the pool across from him that are leading these two. It's a good positive start from these two. In the centre lanes, we've got Daniel Moises just at the head of the 3 swimmers in the middle, Orlando Deering and Oscar Churnside. Oscar Churnside had that great 1500 as well yesterday. I don't know if you saw that one in the afternoon, Ollie.
I didn't see it live, but I did hear about it later whilst watching his 400 AM in the evening.
And it was, I think he was trying to get under he just dominated the field, trying to get under the 17-minute mark, and he touched the 17 minutes, 0.04. So 4/100ths of a second outside the 70 minutes. A huge PB for Oscar Churnside.
It can be brutal when you're so close. I know it's kind of arbitrary sometimes, isn't it? Just half a second or so, but it can mean a lot, especially when you've done 17 minutes of effort.
4/100ths of a second outside that 17-minute mark. James Boddy and Connor Aspinall, they're looking for this junior title, that's for sure. Oscar Churnside with that yellow cap in the middle, he's another junior swimmer. I don't think Ewan Weir is going to challenge. He is up there in lane number 2, 3 from the top there. But this is the battle for the junior title here. Connor Aspinall and James Boddy, East Lothian and Geary in those near lanes.
It's interesting, James in the outside lane is breathing always across the pool, so he's got the ability to breathe to both sides fairly comfortably, obviously, and I think that can be an advantage, obviously, if it's not abused. just to see where your competitors are, especially on a longer race. Whereas some of the other swimmers are always having to breathe to the side that they favour. So being able to breathe bilaterally can be quite a strength.
Well, James Body is using that to his advantage now. Not sure that he is going to be able to maintain this lead against the swimmer over in lane number 3. That's Orlando Deering. He would love to do so. He is the top Scot at the minute, with Conor Aspinall now just falling back. Oscar Chirnside with the yellow cap coming through now to challenge, but I don't think he is going to get up alongside James Body. It looks like the Geary swimmer is maybe going to hold on to this one. Orlando Deering going very well in lane number 3. It's between these two as they come into the closing stages now. James Body is going to be in, I think, or is it going to be Deering into the touch? And it is James Body who gets it by 7/100ths of a second. And a big improvement from heats to finals. 10 seconds.
Huge improvement. I mean, that would have made the A final if that had been swam in the heat. So that is quite a big drop.
And there is the result confirmed. James Body just holding off the challenge of Orlando Deering to take that B final and to win that Scottish junior title as well. Well done to James Body. You'd be delighted with that one. Great swim from Conor Aspinall as well. 4:20.53 for Conor. Big improvements from heats to finals for a number of these swimmers.
Big improvements. Maybe they changed their strategy. Maybe earlier they didn't quite get all the effort out. But you can't knock it when you do a big drop.
Yeah, well, the preparation right for the final, that is for sure. As the swimmers come out for the A final, Joshua Robinson, Nathan Campbell was saying that's Jack Munsey, and there's Arthur Logan. Jude Lydiard goes in lane number 5, and Luke Hornsey will go in lane number 4. What a great 1500. We mentioned it earlier. Luke Hornsey, Cameron Travis in lane 3, Michael Flynn due to be in lane number 2. There he is. Dennis O'Brien from Limerick in lane number 1, and Jack Simpson will go in lane 0. But we spoke about that blistering finish that Luke Hornsey had in the 1500 freestyle. Absolutely immense, wasn't it?
It was incredible. It was faster than his last 50 in the 200, which was earlier in the session.
Was it?
Yeah, it's about a second or so.
Oh goodness! And what a weapon to have at the end of a distance race, though.
Absolutely, we see that at the top level now. Obviously, Bobby Fink at the Olympics, having that incredible surge at the end of the distance races can really be effective.
Yeah, well, we'll see what Luke Hornsey can do here. He's going to double up on the titles that he has won. Jack Munsey was ahead of him in the 800. And Luke Hornsey was the winner in the 1500. I wonder what we're in store for here. Hornsey leads them. Arthur Logan in second. Lydiard in third. Cameron Travis going well in fourth position. Munsey down in fifth. It's the very early stages. I think it's these 5 who are just beginning to pull ahead of the others in this field. And again, I think Ollie, when looking at the heats this morning, that the likes of Jack Munsey was pretty sure of qualification, and he just eased up in the closing stages of his qualifying heat.
Yeah, he would have saved some energy this morning, I think, and be looking to put it all out tonight. We've got multiple swimmers here capable of going below 4 minutes here, so it'd be interesting to see whether any of them can manage that. Obviously, Luke was the closest this morning, only 0.38 off that. So, but Jack's taken out again, nice and strong, like the 1500. But he'll be breathing across, looking at Luke, hoping he's not too close down that last 50.
Is it a tactic for Jack Munsey to be in one of those, well, not an outside lane, but far away from Luke Hornsey as he can?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it would have been mainly to conserve energy this morning. If he could have conserved energy and been in the centre, I'm sure he would have wanted to do that as well. But he's not in a bad spot here.
He's a very good spot at the minute, though. It is Jet Munsey, who's going to lead them into the halfway point, I think, just ahead of Luke Hornsey. Where we heard that before last night in the 1500. Hornsey going well. In third place, Jude Lydiard. In fourth place, after Logan, Cameron Travis just dropping back now. So it's the top four is probably very shortly going to become a top three, I think, because Jude, Arthur Logan looks like he's dropping back. Jude Lydiard sticking in well though in lane number 5, just behind the leading 2. 3-horse race, I think, Ollie, at the minute.
At the minute, it's looking that way. It's interesting to see Luke. One of his main goals this season was to work on his turns, and you can still see Jack Munsey has a slightly better turn than Luke, so he's always managing to either catch him up or extend his lead. Through that, Luke's improved quite a bit this year, but it's probably something he'll still want to work on in the coming years as he develops as an athlete.
Well, Luke Hornsey and Jack Munsey going head to head again here. Luke Hornsey has that little bit of an advantage now as they go to the 300 mark. He's just under the 3 minutes. Ollie, we're hoping for an under 4 minutes, a sub 4 minute. It's going to be tough to bring that back, but Luke Hornsey is beginning to go here, beginning to stretch out at the front of the field.
He's definitely got the ability to bring it back and go under based on his performances this week, but we'll see whether he can do that.
Wow, look at the surge again from Luke Hornsey. It's an incredible surge there, 29.82. Jack Munsey 31.48. He's lost a second and a bit there of Luke Hornsey. And here comes Hornsey again. Jude Lydiard now challenging for second place with Jack Munsey. But here comes Luke Hornsey. He is going to take another title here. Another impressive swim. Can he dip under that 4 minute mark? The clock just ticking over at 3:56. He's going to be under 4. 3:58.52. Luke Hornsey takes another title here in Tollcross. Jack Munsey in second position with Jude Lydiard just behind in third place. But another impressive swim from Luke Hornsey.
Yeah, really impressive there. I think his PB from last season was about 4:06, so he's taken a considerable amount of time off, and he's still hopefully got a bit more to squeeze out later this season.
Well, Hornsey just 17 years of age and 3:58.52. He wins that one by 4 seconds in the end from Jack Munsey, who was in close attendance at 300. But that last 100, Luke Hornsey just had that turn of pace. Again, silver medal for Jack Munsey. Bronze medal for Jude Lydiard, who's not too far behind at all. Yeah, he's been impressive the last couple of days, hasn't he, Luke Hornsey?
Yeah, he's really come on the last 6 months or so, I think. I don't think he had the best short course season compared to what he was at last summer. So it's nice to hear and see that he's performing a lot better now. Speaking to his coach, Jamie Ward, earlier this competition, and he's saying that he's really started to apply himself in training, become a lot more serious about it, and it's obviously having an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. We move to the first set of medal presentations. So we can get a little bit of a breather. It's medal presentations. Next, the relay presentations. Another gold, silver and bronze medalists, and also the Scottish junior champions. So, Stirling Swim, delighted to be on the medal podium. Logan van der Meulen, Greer van der Meulen, Perry Scobie and Susie McNair. I said we'd see Susie McNair again.
You did so.
Even though
we'd already seen her. It's the splash and
I
dash.
know, yeah, there you go.
Chaos of the 4x53
Oh, I know.
mixed.
There's a Limerick team visiting here.
It's always nice when you see swim teams from other countries coming to the Scottish Nationals, I think. Just shows they value it as a competition.
This Limerick team, McGeever, Bailey, Farrell and McCavaney. And their dominant swim there. Look at the margin of victory there in the times. 4 seconds, the winning time from University of Aberdeen Performance. Lewis Birrell, Tom Bailey, Emily Grant and Mary Mischenko. Good job from the University of Aberdeen Performance. A strong squad from the Aberdeen team.
Yeah, good there. I'm looking forward to see Tom later. I believe he's in the 100 fly. He had fairly significant surgery at the start of the season to his arm, so he had quite an impacted year, but he seems to have been getting back to his best, which has been a really, really positive team effort actually up in Aberdeen.
And there's the Aberdeen Dolphin team. Talking about Aberdeen, Dean Fern led them off, Conor Christophorus, Ailsa Club and Kirsty Breakin. And Brian Henry, also from Aberdeen, making those presentations. So 2 Aberdeen victories, Aberdeen Dolphin taking the junior title and University of Aberdeen Performance taking the senior title. So we've gone from the 50 freestyles up to the longer distances. We're back to the almost middle distances now. 100 butterfly. And we're on for the B final. This 100 butterfly. I've got one of the para swimmers in this one from National Centre in Limerick, Roisin Mirian.
Yeah, we've seen her name a lot this competition. She's been performing quite well in those para finals, and obviously today she's made it to the B final.
She's a World Championship medalist in this event in the S13 class, swimmer with a visual impairment. Roisin is closest to us. Line up for this 100 butterfly B final: Safrina Machin from City of Glasgow, Ailey Robertson, South Ayrshire, Kiana Kurtzer, Warren de Baas, Gabriella Lessing, Ren 96, Krista Wilson, Borough Stockton, Zara Kravich, East Lothian, Orla McInnes, Heart of Midlothian, Faith Yuda, Edinburgh University, Melissa Mainwaring, West Lothian, and Roisin Mirian from Limerick, closest to us. Wow, promises to be a close one, Ollie.
Yeah, it's looking good so far. See who can get their hand on the wall at the first turn.
It looks like it is Gabriella Lessing. First to the wall there, 30.55 at level with Faith Yuda actually. So great contest here in this B final. We saw some cracking B finals yesterday, some very, very close finishes. Faith Yuda trying to come back now in lane number 7. Just 2 lanes up from the bottom. And she looks like she might have the advantage here going into the final stages here. Lane number 4, Krista Wilson coming back strongly as well. Is it going to be the swimmer in the centre or in lane 7? What a finish by McInnes as well. But it is Wilson. Krista Wilson will take that one. Faith Yuda in second. And Orla McInnes coming through incredibly strongly at the end to take 3rd place in that B final. But 0.13 the difference. Krista Wilson takes that one. Borough of Stockton swimmer Faith Yuda. Second day, and good swim from Orla McInnes as well, the Heart swimmer, the 16-year-old. It's a phrase we've said before, McInnes coming back strongly on the butterfly.
Yeah, it's a phrase we're used to here. So obviously Kiana's one of the athletes that is taking a day to recover today rather than racing, so we won't see her in this final, but we will see her later in Japan this summer.
Yeah, great to see Kiana McInnes making strides national teams. But here is the 100 final. Kara Slosson is very much the favourite for this one. Heidi Wren is a junior swimmer from the city of Glasgow. We'll see her very shortly. Abigail Stemp goes in lane number 1. There's Heidi Wren in the outside lane. Scottish junior title up for grabs between Heidi Wren, Coco Croxford and Catherine Renfrew, the pair swimmer.
That should be an interesting contest there.
So Kira Slosson, absolutely dominant in these butterfly events here. Edinburgh University swimmer. The only swimmer under the 1 minute mark. 59.62 for her in qualification. Next fastest was 104.17. So it's going to be a tough ask for anyone to challenge Kira Slosson here.
Yeah, Kira's been really impressive this season, actually, stepping it back up to levels she's seen previously. I think she's done a great job, as well as her coach Matt Trodden in Edinburgh.
And she goes into the turn here with a huge lead again. Look at that, 28.23, a full second ahead of Drew McKenzie. Abigail Stemp in third position, I should say. But this is impressive stuff from Slosson, isn't it?
Yeah, really impressive. She's looking good at the moment. Let's see if she can get below that 60 point.
Oh, she almost went too fast for the camera there. She was out of shot. But the camera's focused in on her now, into the finish. Let's see if she can get another sub 60, as you said. Yeah, 59.18. Slosson takes that one. It's second. It is McCarty and Drew McKenzie in third position. So excellent swimming there from Kira Slosson. She will take that one ahead of McCarty and McKenzie, and the junior title will go to Renfrew. Catherine Renfrew will take that junior title. 103.87, an improvement from the heat to the final.
Great bronze there from Drew. I know she's been struggling a bit over the past few days with a bit of illness, so it's great to see her push through that and get a bronze there.
Yeah, so Drew McKenzie finishing there under the 104 mark in 103.37. Catherine Renfrew also improving from heats to finals, just getting in ahead of Coco Croxford. That was a good battle for the junior title.
Yeah, Coco, one of our athletes going out to the European Youth Olympic Festival later in July, so good preparation for her.
Yeah, it's a nice stepping stone, as you said, for the meets to come in the summer. And we've got some of the swimmers here going to the Para World Championships in this 100 metres butterfly para final. Jack Milne goes in lane number 3, University of Aberdeen Performance. Stephen Clegg goes in lane number 4 from Edinburgh University. Louis Lawler from City of Glasgow goes in lane number 5, and Declan Castles from South Lanarkshire in lane number 6. Well, Stephen Clegg be very much the favourite for this one, Ollie.
Yeah, he's a class act, Stephen. Great swimmer.
And it's the Scottish record holder, world record holder in this 100 metres butterfly. He set it last year, I think, was the time they set that world record, Stephen Clegg. So
yeah, I'm trying to remember the time.
When you're asking me, I'm going to look that one up. Stephen Clegg in lane number 4. I was speaking to him earlier on very briefly, and he was saying he's in a hard phase now. He needs to drop a second or so if he's going to compete against his main rival on the international stage. That's a lie.
Yeah, so 56.75, we've had the information back there, is his record, so a couple seconds off this morning, like you say, and looking to drop a bit in the coming months to get back competing against those rivals.
Yeah, Louis Lawler, he's also going well. He's also on his way to World Champs in 27.98 at the time. But the visually impaired swimmer, Stephen Clegg, coming in to the finishing few strokes here. It's going to be a decent time for Stephen. Look at that, 58.14. Didn't quite spot his finish there, I don't think. Can sometimes happen with visually impaired swimmers. They're not quite spotting the finish at the wall. But he'll be pleased with that, I think. 58.14.
Yeah, I think he'll be pleased at this stage. 58.1 with quite a few weeks left of preparation and rest, like we said.
And Declan Castle's coming in now. He had a huge best time in qualification. 129.33 was his qualification time. And he comes in now in 130.48. So following up that swim from this morning. I think in terms of the points, it's going to be Stephen Clegg take that one. And probably we'll have the same order as they finished in terms of the points. Louis Lawler in second and Jack Milne in third. I'd be surprised if that wasn't the finishing result. Louis Lawler not too far outside his own Scottish record for the S14 classification. So 100 butterfly B final on the way. Brogan McAviney in 0 from Limerick, Pierce Greening from Stirling University in 1, Luke Shaw, Edinburgh University in 2, Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins in 3, Brodie Gordon Gibson, Warrender in 4, Tom Robertson from Aberdeen Dolphin in 5, Lewis Maxwell, Derwent Side in 6, Finn McGeever from Limerick in 7, Ian Rose, Bath University in 8, and Evan Davidson from Perth City in lane number 9. So Dean Fern and Evan Davidson will contest the junior title, Scottish junior title. And it's the red cap of Warrender, Brodie Gordon Gibson out to a very fast first 50 here.
Brodie's had an absolutely fantastic year, really developed well as an athlete on the national junior team as well. And we've seen some great battles between him and Tom Robertson, who's just next to him this season. He's obviously getting the better of Tom here. But both of them going to Edinburgh University next year.
Oh, well, the bragging rights for the new Edinburgh University swimmers here. Who's going to get this one? Dean Fern going really strong in the closing stages now, just pulling up on Brodie Gordon Gibson. It might be Dean Fern to take this one into the wall. It is Dean Fern, 55.92, and it's a tie. 55.92, a dead heat for the win there. Brodie Gordon Gibson and Dean Fern equal first position, with Luke Shaw in third place. And Tom Robertson just touched out there in fifth place, but Dean Fern will take that B final and he'll be the Scottish junior champion.
Yeah, great race there from both of them. I think Brodie's long arms there got him the joint first there.
And Dean Fern, a youngster as well, 15 years of age, real talent, isn't he?
Real talent. He's not had too much training at the moment, so he stepped up this last year. We're starting to see some good improvements, and he'll obviously have some experiences this summer, as we've already chatted about, in terms of the Youth Olympic Festival and the Commonwealth Youth Games, to expose him to different athletes, different types of competitions. So he's still a way down in that pathway, but he's getting the experiences he needs.
And the multi-sport events as well.
Yeah, that's interesting, obviously. When you're looking at the Commonwealth Games, the Olympics, Paralympics, it's all multi-sport, so you need to get used to that experience and not get overwhelmed by seeing seeing other celebrities from other sports, let's say. Yeah,
absolutely. There's Tom Bealey, you were talking about him earlier. Looking forward to seeing him in this 100 butterfly final.
Yeah, it'd be great to see Tom in the 100. He's obviously a 200 fly specialist, but this is clearly important that he has the speed for that front end, so this is still an important race for him.
So Ed Mildred in lane number 4 will be the favourite for this one, 53.07 in qualification. Thomas Carswell has been very good over the sprint distances though. Welsh swimmer Tom Carswell. It's been gone out very fast in the sprint, so hasn't he?
He's a strong swimmer.
Yeah. What can he do over this 100? He goes in lane number 5. Just in the bottom of those 2 yellow marked lanes. Ed Mildred will be the favourite for this one. Marginal favourite after that heat swim. But lanes 4 and 5, expect them to stretch out. It'll be a real fight between these two, and that's centre lanes. Go through into the turn. Very good start on the bottom there. Brogan Hyde going well right at the bottom, maybe in about 3rd or 4th position, but the big 2 out in front, 24.43 and 24.65. Well, who's your money on here, Ollie?
My money would be probably on Ed Mildred here, but Tom has put in a good performance as well.
Now Carswell now behind Mildred. Looks like Ed Mildred is going to take this one. Coming away from Carswell. Carswell fighting back here, but it is going to be Ed Mildred into the wall first. Carswell is going to be second, a clear second, but Mildred takes it 52.91. Carswell in second. Tom Bealey will come through for third in 55.00 for Tom Bealey. Improves his time from the heat. And he will be the national champion, I think. Scottish national champion. So a good swim there at the front of the field there by Ed Mildred. Well, he took that out in that second 50, didn't he?
Yeah, great turn and drove home. I think he'll be pleased with that. I think some of his performances this week probably haven't been what he'd have wanted, but I think that was a good one.
I think we're going to some presentations now, so we can get a little bit of a breather after those 100 butterfly events. We're on to the 50s after that, so buckle up for them.
We'll be rolling through.
Oh, goodness. So presentations to come. What's your next event that you're targeting? Where are you heading off for?
Well, I've obviously got the Scottish Summer Meet in a few weeks. It's not necessarily a target for me with the type of athlete that my role's focused on, but so the British Summer Meet we've obviously got coming up, and then quite a few like we've been discussing. I won't be going to them, but the European Youth Olympic Festival. We've got the European Juniors this week, so we've got a couple of swimmers that travelled out, I believe, yesterday for that, so we haven't seen them here. We've got Stefan Kravich, Holly McGill, and then Laurie Devine as well, representing Scotland at those European Junior Championships this week.
Here's a presentation for the para swimmers for 400 freestyle. Emma Imrie with the bronze, Katie Pake with a good swim for silver, and there's Tony Shaw. Let's see Tony back on the podium again, 4:57.12 for Tony Shaw. And the World Championship team, of course, Tony Shaw. 4:57, good improvement from the heats to the finals there for Tony Shaw to take that gold medal in the para swimming events. For the women's event, hopefully get the medalists quite soon. I think we do. So there we are, the medalists for the 400 freestyle for women. Nicole Rishi from Edinburgh University, very pleased to be on the medal podium. Time of 4:26. She was dancing her way out there to the presentation. Mari Craig in second position, 4:22. I couldn't really live with the pace. All the gold medalists. And the Open champion, Michaela Ganister, taking that one under the 4:20 mark. Scottish national champion is Mari Craig. And Phoebe Arbuckle. Good swim from Phoebe there to take that junior title. She was the only junior in the final. But, by virtue of that heat swim, being the only junior in that A final, she takes the Scottish junior title. So the race went pretty much according to plan there in that 400.
Yeah, I think it was what we were saying at the start. Good performances from all of them.
Well, we've gone for a 50 breaststroke, but I think we've got 400 freestyle presentations first. So 3 swimmers in this one. The para events operate on the -1 rule, so it's only 2 medals will be presented. Oh, that's 2 quality swimmers, you would say, there, right?
Yeah, 2 top swimmers, both British Swimming funded athletes, both going to the World Championships this year, so it's a quality podium.
Sam Downey taking that silver medal. He looks in good shape, doesn't he, Sam Downey?
Yeah, he's a strong guy. Wouldn't want to arm wrestle him.
Ollie Carter as well. I know he's worked really hard over the last couple of years. Ollie Carter is getting his just rewards. So these 2 guys, as I said, very similar journeys there, making their debuts last year, the World Champs and Commonwealth Games as well. Going to these World Champs this year as well. Of course, Paris just on the horizon next year.
Yeah, it's come around very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, a short Olympic and Paralympic cycle this time, of course.
Yeah.
It's a 3-year instead of the normal 4 because of the pandemic delays. And here's the 400 freestyle podium. Everybody looking very serious there on the podium.
Looking tired as well, I think. It's been a long weekend of competition, so 400 freestyle is a good way to end it.
Just waiting for the presenters to come out. I think we're short of some medals, actually.
There
Here we go.
have it.
We've got it. Things are organised now. That's a little bit of a smile on the face of a couple of swimmers there.
Yeah.
On the podium. Jude Lydiard, some good race there for Edinburgh University. He takes the bronze medal. Jack Munsey just held on for that silver medal position. Held off the challenge of Jude Lydiard. And again, another great swim from Luke Hornsey at the front of the field. He takes another national title. Luke Hornsey from East Lothian. And James Boddy swam an excellent swim there in that B final. Big improvement for him to take that junior title from the outside lane in lane number 9 in that in that B final.
Yeah, I like an outside lane winner.
Yeah.
It's always good.
They run a few this weekend. Mostly in the heats.
Yeah. Sometimes when it's in a final, you do think, okay, if I'd have gone just that bit slower in the heats, maybe I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go for the win. So it's always a bit of a risk, but when it comes off, it's quite nice.
Well, 50 breaststroke. There was no hanging about in the heats for this 50 breaststroke, that's for sure. B final. The entry times range from Emily McGee 34.64 through to Freya Masson from Shetland Ella McGeorge, Perry Scobie, Emma Simpson, Bill Cameron, Emily McGee, Katie Colwell, Lauren Kennett, Imogen Sargent, Ailey Stewart and Freya Masson. That's a lineup for this one. Who's going to take this B final? Can anyone improve their times from the heats? 50 metres, breaststroke. Well, in lane number 3, Bill Cameron going well. Seen her take a couple of good swims. The junior swimmer from City of Peterborough. And she is stretching away from the rest of the field. I think coming back now, Katie Caldwell in lane number 5. Might just have this one, lane number 6 as well. Lauren Kenna going well. It might be lane number 5 or it might be Cameron in lane number 3. It is Bill Cameron takes it in 34.24. There's not much in that at all. Katie Caldwell 34.47. But a good swim from the City of Peterborough swimmer.
Yeah, a great start and great finish there to take the win.
And we were kind of speculating yesterday if with a name like Bill Cameron, she might have some Scottish heritage. So we've just been told she is now the Scottish junior champion, so she must be aligned to Scotland.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Sometimes you're not sure when
I know.
you get athletes come up from England, and Cameron's generally a good indicator, but not always.
But, so it's great to see her take that junior title and to take that B final as well. Big Edinburgh University presence in this one.
Big presence, and they're missing obviously Cara Hanlon. So just imagine if she was here, you've got quite a big chance of a 1-2-3 still. So it'd be good to see who can pull it out of the bag there. Anna Morgan's obviously had quite a good weekend of competition. I've enjoyed watching her win the 200 and obviously the 100 as well.
Yeah, going for the 3 titles, going for the hat-trick. Anna Morgan. She's going to have Katie Goodburn to contend with, and that's going to be a tough battle there in the centre of the field.
Yeah, Katie's a great sprinter, so I expect to see her definitely challenge for the win here. And it's unfortunate, I think Katie Robertson's was ill last week in Rome, so her preparation has been hampered somewhat for this competition. She was targeting it, so it's a shame, but to see what she can do and whether she can pull a medal out of the bag.
Well, Katie Goodburn going in lane number 4. Katie Robertson going in lane number 3. And Katie Robertson had a very good 50 freestyle. A little bit earlier in the heats this morning. She'll be in that final in one of the centre lanes, Katie Robertson. So, 2 Katies in 2 of the middle lanes. Anna Morgan also there. Louise Edmonds as well. And Alwyn Cook. The Edinburgh University contingent right in the centre lanes there. Do you think Anna Morgan will be able to do this hat-trick, Ollie? Katie Goodburn, the one to beat, you think?
I think the one to beat. I'm not a betting man, though.
Good reaction from all the swimmers, pretty much of a muchness here, and it was Katie Goodburn away and clear in lane number 4 here. Anna Morgan in lane number 5 going well, but Katie Goodburn just has the edge here. All about the finish of this 50 breaststroke. Here comes Anna Morgan now, surging back here. Anna Morgan, Katie Goodburn under pressure now in lane number 4, and it might be Anna Morgan in for 3 titles here into the wall, and it is Anna Morgan, I think, 31.98, and she does the hat trick. Anna Morgan of the breaststroke events, just getting in ahead of Katie Goodburn, and it is the Edinburgh 1-2-3. Alwyn Cook in 3rd position there, just ahead of Katie Robertson, who was outside by only 0.2 of a second out, and 3/100ths actually outside the medal positions.
Yeah, that was a great race. I enjoyed that. Always enjoy a swimmer coming back at the end and just overtaking. So great finish from Anna there, and takes the sweep of the breaststroke titles. And
yeah, it was a great comeback, wasn't it? And the breaststroke kind of the technique of the sprinters, isn't it? You don't want to over rev and kind of just stroke through the water, do you? You've got to get that high turnover, but you've got to catch the water at the same time.
Yeah, you don't want to slip the water. It's wasted energy.
So, men's B final is on its way now. Finlay Wallace right at the top there, Aberdeen Dolphin, Aidan Fothergill, Edinburgh Union 1, David Smith from Glenrothes in 2, Mika van Bleuck, Borrender in 3, Conor Massey in 4 from Aberdeen Performance, Scott Gibson and Marius Crangelis, and Scott Quinn in Edinburgh University colours. They go in lanes 5, 6 and 7. Jacob Duncan in 8 and Josh Martin in lane number 9. Oh, in the middle of the pool there, looks like a good start from Scott Gibson. He's been in record-breaking form this week in the backstroke. Scott Gibson going over the breaststroke sprint event here, and he's looking very good in lane number 5 here. In lane 6 also going well is Marius Crangelis, but I think it is going to be Scott Gibson into the wall first here. It's going to be a clear win for Scott Gibson in 29.81, and Aidan Fothergill in second position with Marius Crangelis in third place. So excellent swim there from Scott Gibson in the breaststroke.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen him race breaststroke, so that was great to see. He's obviously had a great weekend in 50 and 100 back, some great performances, dipping under 25 and 55 for the first time in those two respectively. But he has diversified his swimming portfolio, let's say, recently with bringing in the freestyle a bit more and the breaststroke here.
I think he's done all the 50s actually. He's done the breaststroke, he's done the 50 fly. I think he's in the 50 freestyle just in a little while. I think, or maybe he's not in the 50 freestyle. Oh no, he is in the 50 freestyle final. So quick turnover.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Scott responds to that. We'll keep an eye on that later.
Well, here we are for the A final now. This again, got another good burn in this one. We saw Joshua Mitchell, Rafe Dobson, Charlie Trotman, Yushin Cook, Rory Dixon going in 5. There's Archie Goodburn, fastest into this final, only by 1/100th of a second though. Ross Young goes in 3. Sam Pease in lane number 2. Andrew Arthur goes in 1, and Don Bissett in lane number 2. Well, Archie Goodburn again will be one of the favourites for this one. Rory Dixon had a good swim in the heats though.
Yeah, Rory's a fighter as well, so it'd be good to see him chase down Archie. I imagine Archie will have a slight lead off the start. He's one of the best starters you'll see in breaststroke.
Archie Goodburn, Scottish record holder in this 50 breaststroke, 27.19. Can he take this one? He's going well in lane number 4. Archie Goodburn, a good start from him. Rory Dixon side by side with Archie Goodburn here. Goodburn just with the advantage, but not by much here. Are we going to get another comeback in this 50 breaststroke A final? Rory Dixon really pushing hard there, but Goodburn might just have the edge. Archie Goodburn into the wall there, 28.09 for him. Ross Young in second in 28.60, and in third place 28.70 it was for Rory Dixon. I thought we're going to be in for a repeat of the women's race there for a second, but Goodburn really showed good style in the closing stages.
Yeah, no, Archie held on well there from the start, got that lead and just maintained it, and I think he'll be pleased with that. Way off his Scottish record, but he's the type of swimmer that does drop quite a bit of time when he's rested. He's obviously got the under-23 European Championships in Dublin in August, so that's where his main focus will be.
Yeah, another one of the swimmers, Archie Goodburn. He's been around for a few years now. He's just coming on. Scottish record holder, of course, in that 50 breaststroke. Let's hope, wish him well when he goes to these championships later on the summer. I think we're on for some more presentations here, just to give the swimmers a break between the sprint races, because there's a few doubling up.
It's almost like a skins, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do enjoy skins. Maybe we should bring that to the.
Yeah, well, they've had them before, haven't they? Edinburgh International. Don't know.
Yeah.
We've seen them. Did one of the para skins meets as well, which was interesting. We did the international meet here actually, and they did skins in the para events, multi-class skins, which was interesting.
Yeah, tough to calculate and get back round.
And it was the international event as well, so to try and explain sometimes to the non-English speaking swimmers that they had to stand down and not actually go up and swim again.
Fantastic.
Was interesting. But yeah, it was great fun. We got there in the end, I think. But yeah, it's interesting. And I love the skins. I remember Adam Peaty swimming skins at the Edinburgh International, and he just banged out the times every single race. That was when they were kind of losing one. I think in the skins they did this year, they lost. There was only like 3 or 4 rounds of skins.
Yeah, it was a bit shorter this year.
Yeah, but this, if you get every single race, just drop one at a time, and Peaty was just like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, you've seen it in the ISL, I think, when they had that PT just being able to replicate over and over.
There's Drew McKenzie. You were talking about her earlier, Ollie.
Yeah, no, I think she's had a decent weekend considering, like I said, struggling a bit with, I believe, a respiratory illness, but decent time from her there, so it's good to see.
Kira Slosson taking the gold medal there. We saw Stella McCarty, of course, taking the silver. Our city of Glasgow in 2nd and 3rd position. Stella McCarty taking the Scottish national title. And Catherine Renfrew takes the junior title from Perth City. Great to see Perth City on the podium again. They've had some great swimmers over recent years. Andix will do a great job with the Perth team.
Yeah, I work closely with one of them now, Stephen Milne, Scottish swimming in his new role. So yeah, they've got a nice pipeline of talent there, and we've seen that over this competition as well.
Yeah, Stephen was a great star for Perth City and for Scotland and Great Britain teams, of course, winning medals in I think every one of the major championships.
Yeah, I think he has. Yeah, you sometimes forget that. He's quite a humble man, so you sometimes forget how talented he was and how many things he's achieved.
Yeah, Olympic medalist, of course, in Rio 2016. And we've got some of the para swimmers now coming out for the 100 butterfly. Paralympic medalist in the middle of the podium there. Jack Milne, now based in Aberdeen. Swam for Dundee for many years, Jack Milne. Based up in Aberdeen now. Louis Lawler. Good swim from Louis Lawler. Scottish record only 101.0 for Louis Lawler for this event. It was 101.62. And there's Stephen Clegg. Stephen Clegg takes it. Makes his way up onto the podium. Almost a delayed reaction there. He's waiting for the announcement to come before he stepped up. So well done, Stephen. Looking forward to seeing Stephen in the World Championships very soon. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully get down there as well to Manchester and watch some of the sessions. Like I said, Stephen, it was interesting at the British Championships earlier this year at qualifying. James Clegg, his brother, made a little bit of a comeback, so it's great to see him. And on the Sunday, Libby Clegg, their sister, who's a Paralympic gold medalist in athletics and dancing on ice champion. Yes. Made a little bit of a visit to the pool to see both brothers competing, so that was great to see Libby again. I thought you were about to say she was swimming, but she wasn't swimming. Oh, she could turn her hand to anything, probably. No, talented sporting family, the Cleggs. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how James does get him back in the pool. I think he's doing his own thing. He's not necessarily joined a programme, but he obviously performed reasonably well. Yeah, he was great after being out for so long. Tom Bailey taking the bronze, Tom Carswell taking the silver, and there's Ed Mildred with that impressive swim there, 52.91. He looks pleased. Performance? Yeah, I think a 52.91 is probably one of his best performances this weekend. Tom Bailey taking the Scottish champion title. It's 2 non-Scots ahead of him on the podium. And there's Dean Fern, who takes the junior title. So Scottish junior champion Dean Fern. Should have been keeping tally of how many Dean Fern had this week, Scottish junior champion. I'm sure he's been up a couple of times.
He must have been up a lot, yeah. He's talented across all strokes, and he started to delve a bit more into some of the distance events as well, which has been good to see. He's obviously from a sprint background, but he's qualified actually for the European Youth Olympic Festival through his 200 backstroke at the British Trials. So that was the event that got him on to the squad.
Maybe keeping an eye on some of the Scottish junior records in Dean Fern's events, and he's been pretty close to a couple of them, but you know, this summer might see some of them going. Yeah,
we might see some more of those going potentially. He has been known to kind of ask just before a race what's the record, and then really going for it and generally achieving it.
Oh, you know, confidence. That's what you need. So we're back to the sprint events after that little bit of a rest for the medal presentations. And we have the 50 metres freestyle events for the para swimmers. There's Emma Emery back in the water again. Merrin Binney. Join herself there, Merrin Binney. Real character, Merrin Binney in lane number 2. Abby Kane goes in the middle lane. She'll be the favourite for this one. Katie Pake and Emma Emery back in the water again. Tegan Davidson, I haven't seen much of Tegan over this weekend, but she's in now. Laura Pilkington also will go in lane number 7. So I was speaking to Laura Pilkington a little bit earlier today. She's targeting the breaststroke events at the British Championships later on, so she's doing breaststroke in this freestyle event. So let's see what Abby Kane can do here, the visually impaired swimmer. She was very close to her own Scottish record actually in the qualification heats, so she's looking trying to dip under that 30-second mark. Scottish record stands at 29.98, so here comes Abby Kane, visually impaired swimmer, into the wall here. Is she going to get under? Oh, it's just over 30.33 for Abby Kane, but I think that will be the high points total for Abby Kane. Emma Emery gets the better of Katie Pake this time. Tegan Davidson touching the wall now, 43.35 for Tegan Davidson. Just shy of what she did in the qualification heats this morning. Merrin Binney in 49 point, and here comes Laura Pilkington. Let's see what she can get. Can she get under the minute for that breaststroke? She would love to do that. Oh, not registering. Oh, 101.96 for Laura Pilkington. So that is the finishing order. Not sure about the points, Ollie. Abby Kane, I think, will have the highest number of points. But maybe watch out for the points total of Tegan Davidson there. 43 point for Tegan. Wonder if she's going to get herself ahead of Emma Emery in terms of the points.
Yeah, that'll be interesting when those points come up. It's always hard with just the times. So we'll see. I think, like you said, Abby should take that, and I think she'll be reasonably pleased with that.
Yeah, it's good to see Abby back on form.
Yeah, she's been training quite well this year. Obviously, a fairly young athlete in the Rio Paralympics, and I'm hoping to get back to that sort of level.
Yeah, she was just passing us there, trying to get a time. Of course, visually impaired swimmer not knowing the time unless it's announced over the tannoy. But 50 freestyle B final is on its way. Lily Mundell, Nicole Rishi, Emily Maxwell, Imogen Sargent, Anna Lawson, Murray Wood, Rebecca Schluman, Grace Noonan, Alana McDonald and Louise Edmonds. Time here, well, 27.84 with the fastest times in the centre lanes. And, well, pick a winner from this one. Far side, Lily Mundell, one of the Scottish juniors in this one, is going well in the outside lane. I wonder if we're going to get an outside lane winner here. Lily Mundell into the wall, and it is. Lily Mundell will take it in 27.59. Nicole Rishi very close behind her as well, 27.69, and Grace Noonan just 1/100th behind. So an outside lane winner again And that will be the junior champion, the 13-year-old Lily Mundell.
Yeah, really impressive time for a 13-year-old, that. Great performance.
So you got your outside lane winner, Ollie.
I know, they keep coming. But as Ian Wright would say, why weren't you in the centre lane in that final? Why don't you perform better in the heat? But no, that was a great performance from Lily there.
Yeah, never happy, was he? 27.59. That would have qualified for the A final. That 27.59.
Yeah, imagine that 13-year-old in the A final.
Yeah. So Drew McKenzie back in again. We saw Mary Mischenko, Paige van der Westhuizen, Kira Sterka. She will be a threat. Katie Robertson had a very good heat swim. Just seen her swim that 50 breaststroke. Yasmin Hammerlane. Anna Morgan back in again after that breaststroke race. Katie Goodburn back in again. Emily Grant and Abigail Stemp. Survival of the fittest, I think.
Yeah, it's like a training set.
It is. Does that give Yasmin Hammerlane a bit of an advantage here? She didn't swim the breaststroke?
I think a slight advantage, yeah. It depends on the athlete's characteristics, but you'd probably say yes.
Kira Sterker as well didn't swim the breaststroke sprint just a short time ago, but the others in those centre lanes certainly did. Katie Robertson being one of them, Anna Morgan as well, and going out fast now, Yasmin Hammerlane, but also a good start from Katie Goodburn in lane number 2. Is Katie Goodburn going to try and get the title here? She just lost out in the breaststroke. Is she going to pull this one out in the freestyle? Katie Goodburn looking really good here in lane number 2. I think she's going to do it, you know. Katie Goodburn into the wall in 25.98, and she'll be delighted with that one. She gets it ahead of Anna Morgan and Yasmin Hammerlane. So Katie Goodburn reverses the positions there from the breaststroke. It's gold to Goodburn and silver this time to Anna Morgan.
It was really nice to see, actually, stepping back up after that second place in the 50, just losing out 50 breast, I should say, and then taking the win there. Looked really impressive.
Yeah, she looked determined, didn't she, going into that one. Great swim from Katie Goodburn. She'll be delighted with that one. 25.98 as well. So her entry time was actually 25.99 for Katie Goodburn, so that could be a PB, possibly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what her PB is in that. I knew that she'd been 25 before, but I thought she had, so we'll see whether it's quicker. I believe she is rested for this meet, so she'd be expecting a quick time.
As the para-final, quick fire on to the next 50 freestyle. Bjorn Iron and Declan Castles, both representing South Lanarkshire. Declan Castles in the S9 class, Bjorn Iron in the S10 classification. So this is going to be an interesting one in terms of the points. It's a pity we don't have the points up on the scoreboard, because it's going to be a close contest, this one, I think. There's no more para swimmers, so this is the fight for the gold medal. Of course, it's the -1 rule, so there's going to be no silver medal. It's just going to be a straight fight. So Bjorn Iron is one class up, the swimmer in lane number 4. Swimmer in lane number 5, Declan Castle. So Bjorn Iron is going to have to get something an advantage, maybe of a couple of seconds probably ahead of Declan Castles. If they are in this position, I think Declan Castles is going to be the favourite in terms of points. So Iron is going to have to pull something out. He's going to have to increase that margin of victory over the last few strokes here. Bjorn Iron in lane number 4. Two 16-year-olds in this one. Iron's got about a body length lead, 30.58 and 31.84. Well, second and a half the difference. I'm not sure where that's going to go, you know.
I'm not sure either. I think Declan did a great job, though, to minimise that time gap from earlier in the heat.
Just thinking about the world records for the different classifications in the S9 and S10 classes, and the gap probably is something like about a second and a half between those two world record marks, so that is going to be a close one. So there we go, we're in for the B final again, the 50 freestyles. Keep coming. Brody Gordon-Gibson in again. That butterfly.
Yep. Obviously had a bit more of a rest than some of the 50 breaststrokers, but still it's a fairly good turnaround. Be interested to see how he can go here.
Don't think we have Chris Muir in lane 0, but we have Lewis Birrell in 1, Brody Gordon-Gibson in 2, Finlay Club in 3, Lucas Brown in 4, Miles Lapsley in 5, Swally Talib in 6, Evan Davidson in 7, Finlay Strachan in 8, and Vincent Dwyer in lane number 9. Who is going to take this one? Lane 3 going well. Finlay Club has got a very good start. Also Finlay Strachan as well. The two Finlays might be ahead of the rest of the field as they come in here. Finlay Club into the wall now. He's going to take this one. It is Finlay Club into the wall first, ahead of Brody Gordon-Gibson, who finished really well for second, and Lucas Brown in third position there. And it was very close for third, fourth, fifth and sixth.
Yeah, that was really good. Finlay there, really nice stroke coming into the finish there. I think he'll be pleased with that.
And good improvement on the heat time, 24.02.
Two national junior team members there actually in the top 3. So Brody and Lucas, who we've not mentioned. Lucas also on our national junior team in third place there, as well as Evan Davidson, who finished further down, but he's not known for his 50s. Evan's sort of 400 medley, 200 medley, 200 freestyler, and he'll be off to the Commonwealth Youth Games later this summer.
I think we saw him in the backstroke earlier, Evan Davidson. He may well be in yeah, he made the A final in the backstroke. He swam this afternoon in this afternoon's heats, made the A final of the backstroke in the 200 back. Yeah,
he's a talented athlete across lots of strokes and distances, so look forward to seeing that later.
Well, the big guns now go in the 50 freestyle, the A final. Harry Sharp, Gregor Swinney, Ross Leslie, there's Gregor Swinney. He goes in lane number 1. Harry Sharp will be in lane number 0. The Edinburgh University contingent in the middle lanes. Ross Leslie, Scott Gibson, David Cumberledge, and Tom Carswell. Adam Ritchie from Stirling University in 6. Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow in 7. Adam Strickland, Derwentside in 8, and Rory Dixon back in the water again in lane number 9. So Scott Gibson again, another 50 metre event, but it's hard to see past David Cumberledge, isn't it?
I think so. We'll see how Tom Carswell performs. He obviously stepped it up in the 100 fly. Whether he can step it up enough though.
Well, Cumberledge into his stroke. Carswell right there though in lane number 5. Cumberledge with that very flat stroke here must be just ahead of Carswell in the closing stages here. Yeah, Cumberledge pulling away now. Carswell right there, but Cumberledge will get it in 22.62. Carswell in second, and Ross Leslie in third position, just ahead of Scott Gibson, who finishes fourth. An improvement from heat to final for Scott Gibson there. But it was David Cumberledge just stretching away there at the end.
Yeah, it was another good race there, with Tom stepping up, like we said, in the 100 fly and the 50 there, and pushing David for that.
So Harry Sharp will be the junior winner, the Warren DeVar swimmer. He took place in that final, took his part in that final. That was a quick one.
Yeah, nice and quick.
50 freestyles.
Boom, boom, boom.
More medal presentations now.
Who did you say the Scottish champion was there?
It would be Ross Leslie.
Ross Leslie,
yeah,
third place.
Scottish champion, yeah, third place in that one. Junior champion was Harry Sharp, the 15-year-olds from Warren DeVas.
Thank you.
24.22 in qualification. Not sure what he went in the final, but he was the only junior in that A final. So medal presentations look like they're on their way, getting the presentation party sorted out here. 50 breaststroke on the way out. So yeah, some good sprints there and some good people doubling up there. Katie Goodburn, that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, great to see. Missed out on the first race and then probably felt a bit aggrieved by that, but coming back in and winning quite comfortably in that 50 freestyle.
So I think we're probably missing, I think we are missing Katie Goodburn actually in the silver medal position. It's an Edinburgh University clean sweep though. Owen Cook getting it the bronze medal. Here comes Katie Goodburn now. In from the side. Delighted after that 50 freestyle victory. Just out of the pool onto the medal podium. Taking the silver medal in that 50 metres breaststroke. Anna Morgan takes the title, another breaststroke title for Anna Morgan. And Bill Cameron, we spoke about her, City of Peterborough swimmer, Bill Cameron. There's Anna Morgan. She's had a good championships, hasn't she, Anna Morgan?
Really good championships. Yeah, I think she's been good across all the different breaststroke disciplines. I think that's the end of her season now, I think Anna's going to take the rest of the season off. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's the case, and then push on for next year. Matt Trodden, coach of the athletes, doesn't like to be called a sprint coach, but he doesn't do himself much favours when he gets a clean sweep on the podium.
Of course, as you said, Cara Hanlon not taking part in the last few days of competition here. Obviously the big competitions to come for Cara Hanlon. She's really made the jump over the last year or so. Yeah,
really impressive the last few years, pushing on at quite a late stage in terms of her age. She's not, making her first World Champs team at 26, I believe she is, which is impressive to show her perseverance in the sport.
Excellent for Cara Hanlon. She'll be on the way to World Champs. Rory Dixon, Ross Young take the bronze and silver medals in this 50 breaststroke, and Archie Goodburn held off the challenge there of Ross Young and Rory Dixon as they closed in. But he was strong at the end there. Junior champion Kieran Chapman from Glenrothes, my old club, getting on the medal podium at the Scottish National Open. Great to see. I think that's the first time, I might be wrong in saying that, first time in a long time we've had a Glenrothes swimmer on the podium.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. But the smile on your face looks like it's quite a while.
So swimmers coming out for the next race. We're on to the 200 metres backstroke. It's been a quick night, I think, so far.
Yeah, I think with the 50s they just fly through, don't they? You get one after the other. Medal presentations are being done swiftly tonight, which is nice to see.
So 200 metres backstroke races will complete the individual events for these championships.
You've got two Warrender swimmers in the middle there with Phoebe, who we saw earlier in the 400, and then Kiana in the centre lane there. So it'll be interesting to see them race it out as clubmates.
Yeah, two 15-year-olds. And a couple of junior swimmers, Scottish juniors in the A final though. Susie McNair we'll see again, and Coco Croxford. So they will contest the Scottish junior title in that A final. Just wonder what these B finalists can do. I always think it's quite interesting, of course. Crown the junior champion. If you make the A final, regardless of what time you do in the final, you'll be crowned the junior champion. So maybe some of the junior swimmers who missed out on the A final will be sending a little bit of a message there. Try and get faster than their junior colleagues in the A final.
Yeah, it's a strange one, but I mean, it's good to encourage the athletes to push in the heats, because they might be able to get away with that at a younger age, but certainly when you're stepping up to the senior ranks, you can't relax in the heats to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. Kiana Kurtzer and Melissa Meni go out very close to each other in the early stages of that one. And Kiana Kurtzer, again, another swimmer who's broken a few age group records as a very young swimmer. I think 13-year-old records, I think. I remember Kiana Kurtzer breaking a couple of years back.
Yeah, she's been a very talented age group swimmer. She's struggled this year a bit with a few injuries and I think confidence, but she's hopefully get back to her best soon. But certainly has the talent to do so. And it's a superb club to get her back on track as well.
Yeah, so she leads there 110.83. You can see the split times appearing on the screens there. It shows the last 50, the previous 50 split there. So you can see that Kiana Kurtzer stretched her lead over Melissa Meni here. And she is looking good here. She comes down to the final turn. 2 lanes across. Zoe Crawford, I think it is, in lane number 7. Maybe challenging for second place. Maya Cheshire as well coming through. 1 lane from the bottom in lane number 8. But it looks like Kiana Kurtzer is away and clear in this final turn. Kiana with that familiar red cap of Warrender. Looks like no one can touch her. She is going to post a very impressive time here. She went 2:28.68 in qualification. Just missed out on the A final by around about a second and a half. I wonder if she's going to improve on that. Here comes Kiana Kurtzer in lane number 4. Real battle for second position, but it is going to be the red cap of Kiana Kurtzer into the wall in 2:25.28. Zoe Crawford 2:27 in second, and Maya Cheshire 2:28 in third position. But 2:25, Ollie.
Yeah, nice step up from her heat swim. I think her PB's down at 2:18, so still, like I said, a way off, but I think she'll be pleased with that, given the tough seasons she's had. So yeah, but great to take that final, showing some good skills from the start, and her turns looked really good as well.
Yeah, great swim there from Kiana Kurtzer. She would take that one ahead of Zoe Crawford and Maya Cheshire. The result is confirmed. Kirsty Gilmore in 4th position. Well, family affair in this next one, in this A final. Amy Shields and Ella Shields side by side.
That'd be interesting for them. I wouldn't have wanted to race my brother. I don't think. A bit of pressure.
I suppose at least the good burns don't have to race each other. Unless it's in a mixed relay.
No, mixed relay you could see that, but yeah, probably not directly, and it's hard to compare, isn't it, splits, but when you're right next to each other, you want to get your hand on first, I can imagine, as the sibling.
Here's Olivia Butler. We saw Rebecca Reid, Coco Croxford, Susie McNair, Millie Wells. There's Ella Shields. And there is Amy Shields next to her. Ivy Wren goes in lane number 2. Lauren, have we got Lauren Bradley Holt? Can't see Lauren. But we have Melissa Mainwaring limbering up there in lane 0. She might be out on her own here, I think, Melissa Mainwaring.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one for her out there. Some clean water. Be interesting here. Obviously, Katie Shanahan resting today, so it leaves the field wide open to take the title.
Yeah, Katie Shanahan. Excellent swim yesterday, wasn't it, in the IM?
Yeah,
really good swim.
Good performance. I think she's still got a lot to go in that as well. Speaking to her coach, Stephen Tigg, she's clearly a talented athlete and is in the right place.
No Shanahan, this one. Katie Shanahan holds the Scottish junior record. She doesn't hold the Scottish senior record. That's Cassie Wilde holds that one.
Yeah, not too far off it at trials, I think. I think hopefully this summer that will go, if Katie performs to how she can. So that'd be interesting to see come the Worlds.
But on this final, it's going to be a good contest here. As we said, Ella Shields and Amy Shields side by side, and they have gone pretty well in the opening stages here. They are in lane 3 and 4. And they are going to touch first and second, I think. Look at that. 2 100 separating the Shields sisters. Well, what about this one? Olivia Butler going well in 3rd position. Millie Wells also close by in 4th. But it does look like Ella Shields got a little bit of an advantage now over Amy, with Olivia Butler coming through strongly in lane number 5 as well.
Ellis looking good there, just surging through in that 75 to 100 metre mark, taking control of the race. Let's see if she can hold it.
Yeah, Ella Shields going through there in lane number 4, 107.09. Well, Amy Shields not finished just yet. She's still in 3rd position. Olivia Butler going well and pushing on here as they come to this final turn. Olivia Butler really having a good drive here on this 3rd 50.
Yeah, pulled herself right back into contention there. It looked at 100 like Ellis was going away with it, but she's pulled herself right back, and the momentum's on her side there. And a nice turn.
Yeah, that's giving her the advantage here as it goes into this final 50 here. Olivia Butler looking to be the favourite now, and Ella Shields now trying to hold off the challenge from Amy Shields in 1 lane down from her. The two Shields are really fighting hard against each other, but they're not going to catch Olivia Butler here at the front of the field. It's been a very good last 100 for Olivia Butler, and she is going to take this title. It's going to be very close between the two Shields for second, but Olivia Butler takes it, and what a finish from Amy Shields to get in ahead of Ella Shields for the 2nd position. It'll be silver medal position for Amy Shields and bronze to Ella Shields. And what a finish there from Amy Shields at the end. They couldn't catch Olivia Butler.
Nah, fantastic finish there. Olivia, though, great build through that race, well paced, and I think she'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, 2:17.11, a second and a half quicker than she went in the heats. Amy Shields improved her time by a couple of seconds. And Ella Shields as well, just beaten by her sister. Oh, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, I was trying to look at their reaction there, but couldn't quite spot it. But Amy,
I think they're just coming out now, I think, are they?
Yeah, nice battle there. Always good to see both of them going for it in the last 15.
That's Amy coming out now, just on the side of the pool there. She'll be delighted with that one. As we go on to the next event, which is the men's 200 metres backstroke B final. As the swimmers exit the water. Another pair of siblings in this one. Van der Meulens.
Yeah. 16 and 18, so there's a bit more rivalry there.
Corey Phillip, Dundee City Aquatic, right up there with the pink cap in lane 0. Ethan Stewart, South Lanarkshire in 1. Lucas Brown and Jacob Wood, both from Elgin, side by side in 2 and 3. Jay Manners and Thomas Maskell, side by side from Derwent side in 4 and 5. Greer Van der Meulen, Stirling Swim, separated from his brother by Kyle Mitchell from Geary in lane 7. Logan Van der Meulen, Stirling Swim in 8, and Andrew Brody, Aberdeen Dolphin. Off to a decent start down there in lane number 9. The best start of anyone in the field, 29.97 for Lucas Brown, the Elgin swimmer. Thomas Maskell in 2nd position, but had a good turn, Thomas Maskell.
I believe we saw Lucas earlier, didn't we, in the 53 B final. performed well there. I think he was third in that. So back in for the 200 backstroke. See how he can cope with that sharp spike from the 50.
Thomas Maskell's going to take this one, I think, in at the halfway point, 102.99. Lucas Brown still in second place. Jacob Wood coming back strongly as well in lane number 3. But Thomas Maskell looks like he has this one under control. The Derwent side swimmer. Oh, really impressive middle 100. This one from Thomas Maskell. He's really worked that hard, hasn't he?
Yeah, really hard. If you can hold that, should take it. A variety of different strategies in 200 back, but I think it's always good to finish strong. It's a painful race, not one that I enjoyed when I was used to swim. So
you're a backstroker?
No, butterfly. Backstroke, horrible, felt like a bug on my back. So it's not something that I can give advice for, unfortunately, but it's getting a bit tighter here though.
Yeah, Maskell, great middle 100, but he is feeling the pace a little bit here in the last 50. Jacob Wood coming back strongly in lane number 3, and he's just about hold off the challenge, Thomas Maskell. 35, you see the difference in the splits there. Thomas Maskell 35.42, one of the slower splits of anyone in the field, but it was enough. He did it when he had to, and Thomas Maskell takes it in 2:12.35. Jacob Wood in second, and Jay Manners makes it 2 Derwent side swimmers in the top 3.
Yeah, and a big step up from the heats. It's never a bad thing sometimes to try out going out a bit faster and pushing it, and you're going to have to do that at some point if you want to go faster, hit those splits. So hopefully with a bit more training that you can bring that 35 back down to a 33 on the last 50 and go a bit faster.
Yeah, it's a good chance to experiment the long course events as well. They'll always be different from the short course events. And, good chance to explore your tactics, different tactics. We're talking about Craig McNally, the Scottish record holder, a little bit earlier this afternoon, who had interesting tactics in the 200 back. I don't know if you ever saw Craig McNally.
I saw him swim quite a lot, yeah.
Did you? Oh. It was almost like he just kind of was dawdling up the first 150 and then turned on the last 50, boom.
Yeah, and I think Craig did try, if I remember, to experiment a bit, but it just never worked for him doing it another way. So it's always good for a junior athlete to experiment with different strategies with their coach, to work out what works for them, but also take that next step up in terms of performance.
Well, something certainly worked for Craig McNally, 4-time Commonwealth Games swimmer for Scotland, so can't complain about the records that he has.
No, and it was always fun seeing him.
It was fun.
Smash back down.
We always knew what was going to happen, didn't you? So the A final, where's this one going to go? Should be a good one. Zach Speakman in the centre lane from Stirling Uni. Angus Allison next to him. Angus Allison, great at 400 individual medley yesterday. Zach Speakman was part of that winning Stirling relay team, along with Lucy Hope, Katie Shanahan and Duncan Scott. That's that team, isn't it?
It's a solid team, very solid team. Zach's performed quite well this weekend. I don't know too much about Zach. He's a non-Scot, so not too much under my radar, but looking forward to seeing him swim here.
Well, Jordan McPhail from Edinburgh University had the fastest qualifying time coming into this event. He wasn't the fastest from the heats though. He goes in lane number 2, so we'll watch out for him. But Zach Speakman off to a great start. Angus Allison very strong in that individual medley yesterday. Pulled out of the 400 freestyle to concentrate on this 200 backstroke.
Interesting. Yeah, I know he likes a race, so being alongside his teammate probably going to spur him on. I know he enjoys sometimes popping into the HP1 training sessions and training with the likes of Duncan and Evan Jones and pushing them on, keeping them honest. So I think he'll enjoy this 200 back here.
Oh, he's got a little bit of ground to make up, but we know Angus Allison is very strong in the closing stages of the distance events. Has he got the speed to live with the leaders at the minute? Jamie Ferguson going well, and he leads them through the halfway point. Jordan McPhail right there next to Ferguson. And Zach Speakman using that underwater, almost the entire 15 there for Zach Speakman at the halfway point.
Yeah, no, great underwater there. It's something that Jamie's working on at the moment out in front, so you can see the difference there and the improvements that he's making or trying to make. But Jamie's a great swimmer in the 200 back. I think his PB's 2:02, 2:03.
Well, his entry time was 2:01. We don't know if that's a converted time. 2:01.60. It may well be a converted time, but he now has to hold off the challenge of Zach Speakman in the final stages here. Jamie Ferguson and Zach Speakman. It's going to go to one of the two of them in this final individual final for the men here. It is going to be a great race here to the finish. Zach Speakman coming back. Jamie Ferguson holding on. I think Ferguson might just have it here. Really strong in the closing stages from Jamie Ferguson. 2:04.11 takes it just ahead of Zach Speakman, 2:04.80. Real fight to the finish there, but Ferguson really strong there to hold off that challenge.
Yeah, no, really good strategy there. Sort of pushing along the second 50 and just holding from there. I think he'll be pleased with that. I think the 2:01 might be a converted time. So I think it's a 2:02, 2:03 swimmer. But making his way towards that two minute, hopefully in the next few years.
Wow, great performance there from Jamie Ferguson to take that final individual title for the men. Still have one more women's individual event to come after these medal presentations. More medal presentations. Where are we now, Ollie? 50 freestyle.
One of the 50s, yeah, 53, because we had the 50 breast, didn't we?
They're coming too quick for us tonight.
We had a junior champion there, didn't we, as well?
Oh yeah, Lily Mundell in that B final. I think was the junior champion from that outside lane. Well, for the women. And for the men, Harry Sharp was the junior champion as well. So just have a quick look down to our right-hand side to see if anyone is organising these medal presentations, whether we're ready or not. And of course, we'll get the answer to our question: is who's won that para swimming event? Was it Bjorn Iron or was it Declan Castles? I think it was Abby Kane. I think we took the title in the women, and here she comes. That's going to confirm things. And interesting to see the medal presenter.
Alison Shepherd, yeah. Blast from the past there.
Yeah, Alison Shepherd, of course, still the Scottish record holder in 50 freestyle.
Yeah, no, that's an impressive time. I can't remember the exact time.
24.68.
24.68, yeah. Quite a while ago that, but yeah, Alison came out to Geneva with us actually with the junior team, and was one of the coaches there, so it was quite nice to spend some time with her there.
Well, there, Katie Peake, Abby Kane, and Emma Emery. I take the medals in that 50 freestyle. There's a 50 freestyle for women, and what a good performance from Katie Goodburn. All smiles on the podium.
All smiles after that.
Yasmin Hammerlane was one of the Edinburgh University trio on that podium. Anna Morgan just missing out, but Katie Goodburn, great performance. She's having a chat. Here we go.
Enjoying herself at the final bit of the competition. And another Edinburgh 1, 2, 3 there in the sprint event.
Yeah, great stuff. Katie Goodburn delighted to take that one, and great to see Alison making presentations. 5-time Olympian. Do you remember watching her Commonwealth Games, win her gold medal, 2002?
Manchester.
Manchester, yeah. And there is Bjorn Iron. He was the champion. Interesting to see what the points total. I think it must have been close.
Yeah, that must have been very close.
Yeah, we'll try and get that.
Welcome our medalists for the men's 50 metres freestyle.
And 50 freestyle. Medalists come out now. Ross Leslie in that second position. Thomas Carswell taking the silver, and David Cumberledge winning that close contest. Again, Edinburgh Uni taking 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think they'd be happy with that. Not sure what other events these athletes are targeting in the summer, but it's good to see these performances here.
And Harry Sharp from Warrender takes the junior title. Just been trying to get the points for the para swim. Bjorn Iron won it 437, and Declan Castles 428.
Yes, very close, like you said.
That's probably somewhere like 0.1 of a second, something like that.
Wow. Fine margins, but you see that here in it. You know, think back to some of the finishes we've seen at Olympic and Paralympic Games. Can be even closer than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Number of dead heats this afternoon, so it's always good to see. A few swim-offs we've had the last couple of days. I think 3 swim-offs today and 3 yesterday.
I like a swim off. Not
We
being
almost
involved
had
in it, but watching.
We almost had a double swim-off because we had one of the swim-offs was 100th of a second in it at the end this afternoon.
Wow. That just turns into a skins like we were talking about earlier.
He's back in again. So here is the lineup for the last individual event, and that is the women's 1500 freestyle. So going down the line is Jessica Powell from Elgin, Iona Bevan from Nexus, Jessica Thomas from Borough Stockton, Caris Mooney from City of Glasgow, Alice Forrest from Derwentside, Fiona Byrne from City Liverpool, Georgia Dickey from Dumfries, Grace Campbell from Portobello, Catherine Boddy from Geary, and Zara Innes from Carnegie. So we talked about Fiona Byrne a little bit earlier, the City of Liverpool swimmer, 17:33 her entry time. So she can live up to that pre-race billing. There's the favourite. So 1500 freestyle for women, the last individual event. Times ranging from 17:33 for Fiona Byrne in the centre from City of Liverpool to 1901 for Jessica Powell from Elgin in the outside lane. I could see a range of tactics here, Ollie. You think a number of ways to swim this 1500 freestyle.
Yeah, a number of different ways to swim it. I think it also depends on the field you're racing, and if you know their strengths and weaknesses. It can become quite psychological, trying to break people. I'm not sure how aware each of these swimmers will be of each other's strengths, but sometimes if it's just a time trial, you just want to set into your rhythm and hold that, and if you've got anything left at the end, bring it, but certainly just trying to hold that good pace.
Yeah, well, we certainly saw Luke Hornsey do that last night in the men's 1500 freestyle. I wonder if we're going to get anything similar tonight. Alice Forrest off to a good start there. In line number 6 when the non-Scots Alice Forrest.
Yeah, it was interesting last night actually. They're fairly consistent on sort of 31 high, 32 low, but it seemed to change between the direction they were breathing and when they were looking at each other.
Yeah, it did actually, didn't it? Yeah.
So Jack
Munsey
had a quicker 50 generally going towards the far end, and then Luke, when he was breathing towards Jack Munsey, had a slightly quicker 50, but they were hovering around that range for quite a while.
Well, it looks like a good contest here so far in these early stages. The swimmers in lanes 4 and 5, Fiona Byrne and Alice Forrest. And Fiona Byrne just coming down as they go over the 200 mark. So just a half a second faster on that previous 50 there. So a bit of 110 that was, I think, Ollie. For that one, almost exactly 110, 110.1 for that 100. And Alice Forrest is digging in here against the pre-race favourite. 17:33 for Fiona Byrne, Alice Forrest 17:44, so 11 seconds the difference in terms of the entry times, but that's not unknown for 11 seconds to be made up in a final in a longer distance event like the 1500, is it?
No, not at all. And I think if you're Alice, you wanted to keep with Fiona here as long as possible, because 11 seconds isn't actually that much when you think about it across this this long an event.
Yeah, Fiona there, 250.70. We'll just check the splits. It's good to have these splits on the screen as well, especially in these distance freestyle events. We can see where the swimmers are going ahead of the others. 35.34 for that previous 50 there. Alice Forrest 35.81, so you can see that half a second just taken out of Alice Forrest there by Fiona Byrne, and the gap has suddenly increased to almost half a body length there as they came out of that turn at the 300 mark.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the maths. If it's you're holding 110, you're on for 17:30. So don't quote me on that, but I think that's the case. So if she's holding 110, she's there and sort of around her entry time there.
Oh, it's good calculations, I think. Very quick. And I can confirm you don't have any calculators in front of you.
No calculators, no, just a pen and paper. So I might be completely wrong, but I think that's correct. Obviously with a slightly quicker first 100, and maybe if you can pick it up at the end.
Yeah.
But Alice certainly isn't out of it yet.
There's almost a couple of individual battles across the pool there. They got the battle for first and second place there. 4:36.53, so that's another in the 110 range for the leader Fiona Byrne. Alice Forrest is there in third and fourth. Georgia Dickey and Grace Campbell. They are almost side by side there. Grace Campbell trying to stay on terms with Georgia Dickey. That white cap just on the right hand side of your screen. And close contest for fifth and sixth as well. Jessica Thomas and Karis Mooney in fifth and sixth place there. Does look like Jessica Thomas has just about got the edge there as they go through up to that top end at the scoreboard. And also Zara Innes and Catherine Body having their own private race as well, right at the top. They are stroke for stroke there. So the field getting split apart, really, almost into pairs across the pool.
You can see this quite often, I think, when it's quite early stages in a race like this, where you're not completely going at your. You've got a lot left, kind of. You've got a lot more to give. So the temptation can be to try and follow someone when you're feeling comfortable, which can work in your favour, but it can also make you suffer later on in the race.
Yeah, get sucked into someone else's race, which is always a danger. But you don't want to get detached, on the other hand, do you? From the swimmer alongside you. It's quite a discipline to, if you have got someone just ahead of you, it's quite a discipline, isn't it, to stick to your own race plan?
Yeah, no, it can be, especially if they're just that fraction faster than what you want to go. The temptation can be to follow them, which, depending on what your race plan was before, that might be what you want to do. But if you're trying to stick to your splits, then it can be sensible to work with your coach on the side almost, to give you recommendations for how you're going, if you can see them.
Yeah, we've certainly seen some good support from the side of the pool, from coaches and from swimmers as well, teammates over here at these championships. And you are aware of it, certainly if you're in the outside lane. Well aware of the people on the side of the pool.
Yeah, and you get coaches obviously with their distinctive,
Yeah.
almost like bird song.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can definitely hear your coach when you're, especially in a 1500, when they're wanting you to pick it up or move it on. It's quite interesting chatting to Jamie Ward yesterday. With Luke, he was saying, I'm not going to go down, not going to help Luke, he's got to do it on his own. I want to be helping him when he really needs to turn it on at, when his tapered meets. So that was quite an interesting coaching decision yesterday. He was kind of thinking, Luke can do this, I've got trust in him, he doesn't need that extra little bit of motivation.
Yeah, it certainly worked in his favour anyway. He swam an excellent race yesterday, Luke Holmesy. We've got an excellent start here for Fiona Byrne. We are not quite at the halfway stage. We're at the 700 mark as she comes down to take this turn. She has increased the lead over Alice Forrest to, well, something like 2.5 seconds. You wouldn't say Alice was out of it just yet, but it's looking pretty good for Fiona Byrne at the moment. She's gone over Fiona an 809.88, so she is repping on around about 111s.
Yeah, I think she slipped there. That was a 36 point, that last 50. So I think she has slipped slightly from the 110s we were talking about earlier. So maybe off her, if she can't pick it back up again, maybe off her entry time. But still, good performance and pushing herself away from Alice there.
Well, that's the halfway point now, 750 metres gone. So 8:45.43 at that halfway point. So double that up. Holly, what have you got? 17, that is your 17:30, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Take a little bit off, probably, or it's going to even itself out, I think, isn't it? That very fast first 50. You've got to add a little bit on for a slower second half, haven't you?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Unless you can pick it up, like we see some of the distance specialists do these days. But if she's repping 36s here, she'll probably be just a bit off that 17:30. Albeit at halfway point, she is on sort of on target for it.
Just about holding on to the 111s, high 111s there for that previous 100. She's gone over in 9:21.72. Let's see what Alice Forrest is doing. Let's see if she's closing or going further behind. Just slipping very slightly behind there. That split is 0.3 of a second behind Fiona Byrne. Let's see where we're sitting in third position. Georgia Dickey now clear in third place, I think, with that white cap just on the corner of the shot there on the left hand side of your screen.
And Georgia, I believe, is gonna, if she maintains this, would be junior Scottish champion.
Yeah, Dumfries swimmer, one of 4 juniors in this one. Caris Mooney, Jessica Howell and Zara Ennis, the other 3 swimmers, 3 junior swimmers. So Georgia Dickey well ahead of those. 10:33.45 time there at the turn for Fiona Byrne. So she's again into the 111 range. And identical splits for that previous 50 there.
Yeah, from both of them. I was just trying to work out whether Alice was closing that gap, but clearly she's maintaining it well. What's it here? Just slightly faster, 0.3 faster there, Alice, from Fiona.
Oh, we could be in for a good finish here if she can make up this deficit. Alice Forrest will be certainly aware of where Fiona Byrne is, and she'll be aware if she starts to catch her, that's for sure. We're going down to the 1,000 metre mark. So we're at the 2/3 stage as they hit this bottom end, and I think that Alice Forrest is definitely closing now.
Yeah, that looks closer from the last 100. Almost a second there on that last lap. So she's pulling alongside now, Fiona. See how Fiona can respond now, because this is quite a difficult situation when you have an athlete catching you up, and whether you can respond and whether psychologically you can handle that.
Well, it's definitely closing up here, and Alice Forrest, as she goes into the last third of this race, might just be about to take the lead from Fiona Byrne. It's just changed around quite quickly, hasn't it? Again, another second taken out of the lead by Alice Forrest. Still half a second in it, but not anymore, because it's absolutely side by side here as they go down to the 1100 mark.
I think that might be Alice picking it up rather than Fiona dropping off too much, because she just dropped down to a 34.9 there, which I don't think we've seen at least for quite a while now.
Maybe that was a tactics into the last third, begin to pick it up a little bit after the 1,000 metre mark.
Yeah, some swimmers like to break it up into thirds, like you say, 500 at a time, and sort of go out quite a nice easy speed in the first 500, maintain the second, and then really push.
And another second taken out of Fiona Byrne there by Alice Forrest, and she's gone past the leader. Fiona Byrne now in second place and really trying to hang on to this one, because Alice Forrest is away and clear of Fiona Byrne. In third place still it is Georgia Dickey, clear in third position. And in fourth place, well, some way behind Georgia Dickey, about 5 seconds in it, I think it's Catherine Bodie. Oh, in fact not, it must be Grace Campbell, my apologies, in fourth position.
We're starting to see separation of those pairs that you were discussing earlier. I think the closest now is actually Alice and Fiona. The rest are kind of separated and settled into their own race, which has been interesting to see.
Well, Alice Forrest has swum this really, really well. The downward side swimmer, the 14-year-old Alice Forrest, what a talent that she looks like she's going to be in this distance event.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. That's good. Yeah, 14 there from Alice, and swimming quite smartly here.
Yeah, absolutely. That was 1,200 metres gone, and it does look like Alice is going to get this one sewn up. Still a bit of a way to go, but it's difficult to see Fiona Byrne coming back now. So this excellent swim from Alice Forrest. And we see on the scoreboard here at the venue, we see when the swimmers are starting to go a little bit faster than their previous split, the split goes green in the venue. It doesn't on your screen at home. It goes green in the venue and it goes red if you go slower. And Alice Forrest has gone green as she's gone up that top end there. I mean, she's increasing her pace from that previous 50, but she is stretching away now as she comes down with 200 to go.
7-second lead from Grace Campbell.
I like these head-on shots, Holly. It gives you a good perspective on the swimmers at the front.
They're nice, definitely a different perspective from the side angle. You can see a bit more into their technique, especially around the turn. You can see how they're pushing off and gliding and how streamlined they actually are.
It's great technique, isn't it, from Alice Forrest? Very economical.
Yeah, she got a nice leg kick there, just keeping her stable, and then a nice cadence with her arms. What's her breathing pattern?
Taking in a bit of oxygen in the late stages of this one.
She's opening up the gap. 5 seconds now between her and second place Fiona Byrne.
And Fiona Byrne just slipping off the pace of the leader, Alice Forrest. But they come to the bottom end for the last time. She'll take the bell at this bottom end. Alice Forrest, she swam a great swim here in the last third of this one. The last 500 has been superb for Alice Forrest. She'll get a little bit of a boost from the bell. 100 metres to go, 16:32 for Alice. And that entry time of 17:44 is going to be there or thereabouts, I think, Ollie.
Yeah, she's going to be close to that. I'm hoping she can go under it. If she can just lift her pace a little bit with a 16:32 1400 split, she should just hopefully dip under that.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the split as she hits this top end here. See if she can get in the 35 or 34 second mark. Yeah, 34.81. It's looking good to be inside that entry time of 17:44.92. It does look like Alice Forrest is going to take this one comfortably, extending a lead over Fiona Byrne all the way. The early leader, the leader for 1,000 metres, but the last 500 has belonged to Alice Forrest in lane number 5, and she is going to come home well inside, I think, of her entry time of 17:44.92. Alice Forrest takes it in 17:41.63. An improvement by 3 seconds from her entry time. Fiona Byrne, good start to this race, and she finishes in 17:50.88. And Georgia Dickey with that white cap now will come into the finish. Entry time for Georgia 17:57, and she's just over the 18-minute mark. 18:02.91 for Georgia Dickey there. But great race from Alice Forrest, wasn't it?
Yeah, very smart. Didn't get caught up with Fiona going ahead and sort of just built her way into it and passed her. She was quite disciplined there with her breathing as well, which was nice to see, because sometimes on a 1500 when you're a younger athlete you can be tempted just to throw off your breathing pattern and get as much as you could, but she seemed to be being nice and disciplined there and helping that streamline in her stroke.
Yeah, and she kept that stroke going. It was a great pace, wasn't it? It was almost like a metronomic, these strokes there for Alice Forrest. She kept that pace up all the way through that 1500, and she will be delighted with that swim, I'm sure. Taking that title and also improving her entry time by a few seconds, Alice Forrest. She should be the open winner, the Derwent side swimmer, the 14-year-old.
It's a hard one. I'm sure we discussed it a lot on commentary over the weekend, but knowing different stages of where athletes are in terms of their preparation and what events they're really targeting this summer. So especially on a 1500, it's one where if you're in hard training, you could be quite a way off your best. So it's hard to sometimes read into how happy athletes will be with their performances. They might be more focused on the sort of their processes around the race, the skills that they're applying in the race rather than the race time sometimes. But definitely one thing's for sure, I think Alice will be happy with that.
Yeah, it's a big summer of events on the way. Of course, everyone different stages of their preparation, as you said, Ollie. As the final swimmer comes in, it's Jessica Powell from Elgin, but there is the result. Alice Forrest takes it, 17:41 for her, with Fiona Byrne in second and Georgia Dickey The junior swimmer in third position, taking the senior bronze medal, so well done to the swimmers in that 1500. So good way to finish the individual events. Still, of course, the relays to come, medley relay, and of course a few presentations for us before we move on to those relays.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this again. Mixed medley relay adds a bit more confusion, I think, sometimes than the freestyle, because you've obviously got the difference in the strokes as well. So I'm looking forward to try and keep an eye on where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, in the freestyle you had the option to put your men first or your women first, and whatever way. Well, we've just been told that's a presentation for Perry Scobie, for the Scottish junior champion in the 50 breaststroke. Belle Cameron, despite her name, is not Scottish apparently.
Oh, right, okay.
We have been told.
We called it, but
we did. We were told she was Scottish. We didn't make it up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's like a talent.
Like, yeah, we jotted that down.
So 2 Shields on the medal podium. Ella Shields just pipped out by Amy Shields in the closing stages here of that one. Ella Shields takes the bronze, Amy Shields the silver. Gold medal for Olivia Butler. Swam a great 200 backstroke, didn't she?
Yeah, that was a really nice paced 200 back. What's interesting is, like, you'd want to know their race plan, because did it meet their race plan? It might not have been. She might have been told to go out really strong, or that was maybe what she wanted to do. So looks good to us though.
Yeah, you want to know all the technical details, don't you?
Yeah,
your job.
I know.
Amy Shields crowned the Scottish senior champion. There, of course, Susie McNair taking that Scottish junior title again. A good week for these swimmers on that podium. A family battle went right down to the wire, didn't it?
Yeah, right down to the wire. 0.2 separating them, so that'll be one to talk about at the family get-togethers in the future.
And the men coming out now for their presentations on this 200 back. Trying to organise themselves on the medal podium. John McPhail takes that bronze medal. Another good race there for that title. Zach Smeekman just missing out. A good finish from Jamie Ferguson, University of Aberdeen performance. He hung on well there, didn't he?
Yeah, hung on really well. That closing at the end. And we missed kind of Evan's race, actually. I don't think we mentioned him too much in there. We got kind of caught up at the front, but interesting to know what time he went, because he's obviously junior champion.
Yeah, Evan Davison finished ahead of Jack Doherty-Simpson. And of course, Evan Davison just qualified for this afternoon for that 200 back. He was in the afternoon heats.
Yeah, I think I saw that on the entry, the 2:29 that he'd put in, so he would have smashed that.
Yeah.
It's not an event I've seen him swim too often. As we discussed before, with his medley pedigree, it's something that he should explore and look to improve if he wants to really push that medley on a more senior level.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, what was it, 2:29 his entry time? And then he went in the heats this afternoon, 2:13.
Yes, yeah.
So he's quite a way ahead of the rest of the field, as you would imagine.
I don't know where the 2:29 came from, but I don't think that was a true representation of his
well, we figured that out quite quickly this afternoon. So, final event of these championships. is the mixed 4x50 medley relay. Well, again, as you said, there's a little bit something extra in the mix here. So Dumfries will one of the junior teams go in lane number 9. Sterling Swim going 8. There's Aberdeen Dolphin. They've got in lane 7. Yasmin Hammerlane will lead off Edinburgh University in 6. Scott Gibson will lead off the Edinburgh University A team in 5. Emily Grant goes first for University Aberdeen Performance in 4. Olivia Butler in the water straight away after the presentation goes in 3. Dean Fern in for the Aberdeen Dolphin junior team. Sterling Swim led off by Greer van der Meulen, and the South Ayrshire junior team has Benji Jeffries on the first leg. So 3 junior teams in this final. South Ayrshire right up at the top, Aberdeen Dolphin in lane number 2, and Dumfries right down at the bottom. So let's see who's taking this first leg. How many males have we got, Ollie? How many females? Is it an even split? Well, 3 females, 4 female swimmers.
6, yeah, 6 male swimmers, sorry.
Well, Scott Gibson, Scottish record breaker in the 50 backstroke. Well, he's going to get Edinburgh University off to a lead, I would suggest, with Archie Goodburn in the second leg. Everyone's going to be playing catch up, but what a strong team they've got.
Yeah, I think on paper that would be the strongest, but equally their B team as well, they've gone the other way, the 2 females in the front 2 legs and then males to end, so that'll be interesting to see whether they can keep them in contention. But Scott's obviously off to a fantastic start.
Wow, Scott Gibson, look at this. This is impressive from Scott Gibson. I'll just keep an eye on the clock, see if he can get close to that Scottish record that he set the other day. He's in the 24 mark. Well, 24.58 for Scott Gibson, my goodness. What a swim that was, Ollie.
What a swim, and that's second of all time in Britain. That swim. Yeah,
wow.
It was already, but he's extended that or cemented it.
Well, Archie Goodburn into the water. Well, he has clear water between himself and the rest in the field. Aberdeen Dolphin in second place. Ciara Slauson going in for Edinburgh Uni. It looks like the Aberdeen Dolphin team with Archie Smith in second. They've started with 2 male swimmers as well, so they're right up there in contention. And it looks like it is Edinburgh University C team with Yushin Cook brought them into second place, with Ross Leslie going now on the third leg for them in lane number 6. But right out in front of the field it is Ciara Slauson, and she will hand over on that final leg to Katie Goodburn now. In for the final leg for Edinburgh C team, it is Katie Robertson, and in for the Edinburgh B team, it is David Cumberledge, and he's coming back really strongly. He's going to bring the B team into second place, but he's not going to catch Katie Goodburn at the front of this field. I think it's going to be an Edinburgh 1, 2, 3, and Katie Goodburn holds off the challenge of David Cumberledge. Goodburn will take that one. It's the Edinburgh A team ahead of the Edinburgh B team and ahead of the Edinburgh C team. That's the 1, 2, 3. Where's the junior title going to go to? I think it's Aberdeen Dolphin will take that one. 157.97 for them. Ailsa Club bringing them home in front of South Ayrshire and Dumfries. And ominously, the screen has gone blank.
Yeah, it's hard to call it at the end when it goes blank, isn't it? But that was a great performance there from Scott on the lead-off leg. Another 0.25, I think, from his...
Yeah, 0.25, wow.
On the Scottish record.
Oh, we have a disqualification there, and it's a University of Aberdeen Performance team that have been disqualified, unfortunately. Didn't affect the top 3. It's Edinburgh University A, B and C team in that order. They will take the gold, silver and bronze, and Aberdeen Dolphin junior team finish 4th overall. What a great way to finish the action here. what was Scott Gibson's time that he posted?
24.58,
5.8, was it?
5.8, yeah.
Wow.
You can see Matt Trodden just in front of us, very happy with that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Good to move on that 100 next season, I think, with a time like 24.58. You'd want to be, dropping into the 53 territory, I think.
There's a lot of people in Great Britain kind of, vying for position in that backstroke, isn't it? There's a lot of people there or thereabouts. There's no one that's really kind of stamped their authority on that one in the backstroke events in GB.
Yeah, not quite yet.
Oliver Morgan was the star of the trials, wasn't he?
Yeah, star of the trials, definitely, but not by far in a lot of those events. He sort of just got his hand on the wall first. So it's definitely wide open. It's probably, if you think about that medley team, the men's medley team, it's probably the weakest leg that we have. So if there is someone that can step up into that, 53 low, 52 point, then that's certainly good for Team GB.
Yeah, I mean, you get Adam Peaty or other breaststrokers on song. We've got Duncan Scott and James Guy, of course, still going well in the 100 butterfly. Others as well. Just there or thereabouts in those events as well. It's a strong squad, isn't it?
Very strong squad. Very strong squad. Archie Goodburn hopefully can push for the breaststroke as well next season. We saw him there taking over from Scott, probably a bit confused how fast he was going.
Well, what a great way to finish. Another record swim there from Scott Gibson. He has been one of the stars of certainly this championship. As we go to the final set of presentations. Look a little bit confused there. He's medalist, Georgia Dickey. Great swim for her to take the senior bronze medal. Fiona Byrne in second position there, silver medalist Fiona Byrne. And Alice Forrest. Great swim from the youngster, wasn't it? 14 years of age.
Yeah, great swim. I'm trying to think of the youngster that was down at British Trials, who I think was 14 from Salford, I think.
Amelia Bloxage.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, she's only 13, I think.
13,
was,
okay, yeah, that was a 16 something. That's incredible. So, but no, still a great achievement. 17:41 here from Alice.
Georgia Dickey's got a little bit of a collection going on here. The confusion reigns at the medal ceremonies.
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of confusion on day one, and on the very last medal presentation individual, there's still confusion.
CEO of Scottish Swimming there, not sure what medal to give out.
So junior champion was, of course, Georgia Dickey. Fiona Byrne taking that senior title.
Yeah.
Well, still confusion here.
Picture opportunities as well.
Yeah.
You've got the coaches and other swimmers lined
There
up
we
to
go.
get the photos.
Perfect.
Oh, I think they're there for the relays, aren't they?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh no.
Georgia Dickey was
Fan base.
certainly, yeah. Other fans there. Why not? Good swim there in that 1500 on the Scottish Junior Champion. And a name for us to remember, I think, Alice Forrest. We'll see if she can improve her times as we go into the summer meets. I'm sure she'll be at the British summer meet, English summer meet as well. I think it's just after the British one, isn't it? So may feature
Yeah,
in
definitely
that one.
keeping an eye on that. In the 1500 especially.
So the relay team's getting themselves sorted out behind the scenes. So club records for the Stirling team in the 4x100. We're told there are no club records for the 50 freestyle events, the mixed 50 freestyle events, which is unfortunate because that's a cracking team from Edinburgh University, isn't it?
Yeah, good team there. Because you obviously had Katie on the back end who won the individual 50. Kira won the individual 50 as well, I seem to remember. 50 butterfly.
Yeah.
So you had the 5 champions effectively
Yeah, yeah.
in each of their respective 50s there.
Well, it's Edinburgh all the way for these final presentations. Let's see what we've got. Scott Gibson, I don't think he's got his breath back yet.
There's quite a lot of racing for him tonight.
Yeah.
Starting with the 50 breast, wasn't it?
Yeah, 50 breast, then followed by the 50 free. Then the 50 backstroke, of course, in that relay. So the C team anchored home by Katie Robertson. It wasn't her on her own. It was Yasmin Hammerlane, Yushin Cook, Ross Leslie and Katie Robertson on that final 50 freestyle. And here in the silver medalist, the Edinburgh Uni B team. Olivia Butler, Anna Morgan, Thomas Carr as well, and David Cumberledge. Real strong squad again, isn't it? Cumberledge was making up ground all the way, as you would expect against Katie Goodburn, of course.
Yeah.
Male swimmer against a female swimmer, but
Had enough though, definitely Katie there with sort of, I guess, what were they separated by about 3 seconds in the individual 50 freestyle.
Scott Gibson at the back, his Scottish record in that 50 metres backstroke first leg. Handed over to Archie Goodburn. Now handed over to Kira Slauson and Katie Goodburn, brought them home. Final 50, what a performance there from the Edinburgh University A team. Here's Aberdeen Dolphin taking the junior title. Dean Fern on the medal podium again.
Trying to squeeze on with all those Edinburgh guys.
Archie Smith, Kirsty Breakin and Ailsa Clubb. That is the lineup for the Aberdeen Dolphin. Almost called them Edinburgh Dolphin there. Aberdeen Dolphin. Relay team, the junior champions, Scottish junior champions here, the very final presentation for a race here at these championships. A couple of presentations to come, of course. We've got the best swimmers in terms of World Aquatics points and the best club as well. It's going to be an interesting one, best club. We didn't see many of the big names from Stirling. Edinburgh University had a good last day.
Yeah, that's one thing. It would have been interesting to see the University of Stirling main guys in this race as well.
That would have been good, wouldn't it? That would have been a race.
That would have been a race, yes. But we're covering today, which makes sense. But it'd be interesting to see, top like you said, World Aquatics points and top club. Now Scott's back.
Yeah, winner of the top points score. Not sure what points that he has gained. We might get to know that. We can speak to our colleagues, announcing team. And top club at these championships is the last presentation. So we'll wait for this one. Highlights for tonight, Ollie. Hope you've not been put off too much by the live streaming.
No,
It's been a quick night.
Tough to keep up at times in the relays, but it does.
And the 50 freestyles.
And the 50 freestyle, 50 breast. Well, not breast today, was it? It was.
Yeah, 50 breast it was. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time ago now. But no, I've enjoyed it. It's been great. Some good swimming. I think probably topped by that other Scottish record. I think whenever you get a Scottish record, it's quite a nice moment.
Absolutely. What a great swim from Scott Gibson. He's the highest number of World Aquatic points. Oh, Edinburgh University have taken that one. And they are the best club, and they will be back on again to this medal podium.
pulled back by their coaches.
They're celebrating. Yeah, and there's the points totals. It was City of Glasgow in 3rd position. And it was University of Stirling in 2nd position, but Edinburgh University, well, they won it by quite a margin in the end, didn't they?
Quite convincingly there, yeah. 1,909 to 1,476. From City of Glasgow 3rd.
Yeah, some way behind in 670 points, but Edinburgh University celebrating. And they win the Best Team Cup at the Scottish National Open Championships, and that is the last act. They're going to celebrate the Edinburgh University team. They've done a great job here at these championships. And thank you very much, Ollie, for your company in the commentary position tonight.
No, pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, you'll be asked back, I'm sure.
I'm sure
Don't
at
let you
some
escape.
point, Mr. Wright or Mr. White.
Yeah, that's right. They'll volunteer your services again. It's been great. It's been a great night of action, topped off by that final Scottish record there by Scott Gibson. A wonderful way to finish the action. He set a record on day 1. He's bettered it again on the last day of competition. Edinburgh University leaving the poolside, as are we very shortly. Thank you very much for your company at these championships, and we hope you will tune in again for future competitions. So from myself, Paul Noble, and Ollie Summer, it's goodbye for now from Glasgow.